All right, everyone. Hope you're all doing good today. Hope you're all doing well. It's time for another episode of Speedruns from the Crypt, your bi-weekly horror hotfix. I'm your host, Dices. Before we begin, just for one quick announcement. Game is done quick. We'll be returning to PAX West from September 4th to the 7th. You can visit gdq.gg/submit to submit your runs. And you can visit west.paxsite.com to learn more about the event. Anyway, you may be wondering, why am I on this screen instead of the big screen? Well, I'll be doing the first one for you today. We had a bit of a scheduling mix-up. The runner will have another time to show off the run they had to. They couldn't make it to this one, so I'll be showing you a run of Silent Hill 2. And now you may be wondering, where is the game? Well, Silent Hill 2 is a weird game at that. So what does that mean? It means I have to boot it up in a very specific way, or else the game is not going to work. Speedrunning actually begins before the speedrun, you know. Anyway, I'll make sure we are, I'll count down the time. I think the game should be showing up. Give me 1 second here. Also, I want to make sure the audio is all good, because this game gets weird sometimes of the way it is. Okay, it looks like, let me just do one thing really quick. Alright, so now I'm doing it on this screen for the time, because this should fix the audio, I think. Okay, there we go. Looks like it's all good. We can count down together, everyone. Okay? All right. 3, 2, 1, go! Okay, Silent Hill 2. What is it? What are we doing? This is Silent Hill 2 hard/hard. It is hard/hard. That refers to the action and puzzles. Funny enough, the puzzles aren't going to matter too much for the little trick I've been doing right now, which we'll talk about in a little bit. The action, obviously, this is going to affect everything. Combat, gameplay, it even has some weird movement tech that happens with that as well. There's going to be quite a lot that hard/hard effects. Just know that this is the quintessential hard mode of Silent Hill 2. We have a few minutes to run into the intro, so let's talk about things. One, you may notice that pretty little game saved in the bottom left. You can also notice it on the door behind me, funny enough. What game save does is that allows you to keep your stamina replenished at all times. Silent Hill 2 has a stamina system. What that means is, as James runs, he's going to be continuously losing stamina, and he'll be going slower and slower. Also, I got a neat little pause skip there. It skips the cutscene faster. It's pretty cool. Alright, but, yeah, every time James, the longer he runs, the more his stamina will keep going down, and James will start going slower and slower and slower. That's obviously going to be slow. So what we're doing is I'm constantly pressing the game save button. That is going to allow me to make James run at 100% speed the whole time, making James, fast. We're also not using New Game Plus weapons, because this is effectively a New Game category, so we'll be ignoring the chainsaw. But, it's always there. Game saved will also have some other little bits to add on. These are quirks of the PC port of the game. It makes for a pretty interesting run for how it goes. But yeah, the first few minutes are just running into the town, kind of introducing everything. Let's talk about what I did in the beginning. Now, you may be wondering, why did I have to boot up the game that weird way? What did I do? Silent Hill 2 has a lot of puzzles. A lot of the puzzles are randomized, so randomized solutions, randomized game. It gets pretty bad for the runners. We found a method to manipulate the game's RNG by doing that, and we'll talk more about that when we actually get to the puzzles, but no, I'll know all the answers soon. Anyway, I'm going to talk to this fence, because there's no reason to go back. I'm going to look for Mary. I'm going to be holding this text for quite a while, because, well, there's no reason to go back. I'm going to look for Mary. Matching game saved while text is up will allow me to keep text up on the screen. Normally, this isn't a huge deal. It'd look kind of decorative, but in this case, it's actually going to be very important. Having text on the screen sort of puts the game into a bit of a stasis, and will allow the game to freeze. During this part of the game, we're going to be entering the combat tutorial, except I have made it so the combat tutorial is not going to be in the game. So, when we pass it, I'll be able to just jog past the combat tutorial, no problem. We actually end up saving a bit of time because I'm not going to have to worry about the introduction to combat. Now, this does come with its own caveats. Caveat number one, I'm not going to have a melee weapon, and I'll have to grab one later. We actually need at least one, or else the game is not going to work. Also, you see that blood? No, you don't. That would be the combat tutorial. Now, the other thing is, by doing that, I have now saved about 1.5 minutes. I don't need to fight the intro enemy, I don't need to get the plank of wood, and more importantly, instead of having to run in a alternate path, I can just go straight to where I want to go right now. Also, here's a little magic trick. Look on the left, there's a shadow. It's not a shadow, it's a car. See, they just pop in. Also, as a result of doing all this, in the early game, none of the enemies are going to spawn in, so I can just sort of, you know, ignore them. In the back here, we have the key to our first hub, dungeon, whatever you want to call it, the apartment gate key, and now we can just head over to the apartment. It actually ends up being really quick, like the whole intro of the game is about 5 minutes. Funny enough, the first few minutes are probably one of the most intensive, as weird as that sounds, just because later in the game you have more tight hallways, and movement is a lot easier to relax on, but in the early game, if you're not careful, it's really easy to get off the proper lines, so I always try to make sure I'm focused for the first few minutes before, like, fully relaxing. As well, we're going to be grabbing this ammo. Oh, there we go. We're going to be grabbing this ammo, because since this is hard, we are going to need ammo for the various boss fights. One of the cool things about hard mode is, unlike any percent, we actually get boss fights. 90% basically doesn't do any fights. This category, we have to route in every single boss, and all the mandatory encounters. Which, I don't know, I think it's fun to watch boss fights in games. Fun. Alright, and with that, we are in the apartments. And yes, we had to do a host run because originally we were going to have on RE7. However, the runner fell ill, so I had to fill in. Sometimes I'll do that. It's a good backup, but just be known, originally you're supposed to be getting RE7. But that runner will have a rain check for later. Anyway, the apartments. We're going to be grabbing a few tools. These are going to be mandatory items to the game. First things first, flashlight. We'll mostly be running it with off because flashlight aggroes monsters. And here's another funny thing. I'm not going to hit save for a second because I want to show you a neat little caveat of hard mode. If you run too much... Oh, I didn't get it there. Well, sorry. I guess I blatantly lied to you, chat. Anyway, I'll try showing it off on the way back down. But hard mode has tripping. It's one of the weird little movement things. But you can trip in hard mode, which is kind of funny. Sound Hole 1 had tripping on doors. Sound Hole 2 on hard has tripping on doors. And for some reason, it's only available in hard mode. Like, let's see if I can get it right here. I have to make sure I'm having, like, full speed the whole time, though. Yeah, see, there we go. So, if I'm not mashing save indoors, that will be happening all the time. Quick save, it gets pretty nice, doesn't it? There are some little caveats to quick save, though, because it can bug out the game. Like, right now, I'm in a little stasis, so I have to do that. Hey, look, there's Pyramid Head. Alright, we've been making really good progress, and now we get to play the fun little game. A lot of you... Get out of the way! Get out of the way! Alright, there we go. A lot of you, maybe you haven't seen Sound Hole 2 speedruns before. A lot of you may have, especially if you watch the, you know, any of the horror speedrun stuff. At this point in time, we're going to be deciding, did we get good luck or bad luck? With the clock key, this is going to be our first of major puzzles, which, by the way, I already got body blocked. I'm kind of expecting bad luck. But, you know, maybe it could be good. Maybe. The position on the clock is entirely randomized. There are set seeds that the clock can be, but when we look at the clock, I will know what every puzzle in the game is after that, once we have the clock identified. So, it is 6:21. We are on seed 27, apparently. Now, that doesn't mean anything to you, because, well, all seeds could realistically be the same when you think about it. What does C27 end up meaning? Well, that means when you get to the hospital, the number code is going to be 1778 and 8597. We'll be turning the head down once. We're going to be getting the blind arsonist, or the blind counterfeit puzzle, and the word at the end of the game is going to be damn. And, you know, chat will be saying, damn, he really predicted all the answers. Which, yeah, you know, you can fast forward, you know, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can fast forward and go like, oh my god, he got all the answers. Which, yeah, neat little party trick, huh? But we'll have to remember C27. We actually got a pretty good clock. With the clock, every answer is almost always going to be, well, the answer is always 9, 10, 9, 11. You always want to get it towards there. So numbers that are closer to that are good. Numbers that are further from that are bad. So something like 6, it's about 3-hour difference. That's pretty good. If I got like 3 or like 2, that's bad. So. All right. Now we're kind of just doing a little bit of cleanup in the apartment side. There are 2 apartments. It's kind of funny, in Silent 2, they made the Otherworld apartment. This game just has 2 different apartments. To kind of go into what that means, nice. We're going to be getting a bunch of coins. Those coins are now going to allow us to go to the other side. It's kind of making sure that you don't totally soft lock yourself when you're going through this. It ends up making sense. You didn't see me yesterday. I was online. Don't you worry. Let's see here. Alright, so this room, we drop in the juice. That's going to get us one of our coins. I can also show off another little trick that we end up doing throughout the run. Obviously, game saving breaks a lot, and we're going to be having yet another usage of the game save feature, you know, being to our benefit. Game saved can actually end text early. So when I'm mashing this, I'm going to mash up to the coin. And then for this text, I can just end it early, and then I get movement starting faster. The only downside of that is I will have to do the movement semi-blind, but, you know, when you're used to the game, it ends up working pretty well. This little pool is sometimes annoying. The enemies can be aggressive, but we'll see if we get good. Hey, look at that. Oh, never mind, he hit me. You know what? I guess that's fine. Why not? Oh yeah, let's talk about health. Getting hit is not going to matter too much. Like, obviously I don't want to get hit too much, but as long as my health isn't too low, we should be fine. There is a point in the game where I'm going to basically have to be healing anyway, so as long as I don't die before that, we're good no matter how many times I get hit. Alright, so we got the key, we talked to Eddie, we are gathering all of our resources. Now we can make our way to the other side of the apartments. We also got the 2 coins, I should say. We're also going to be gearing up for our first boss fairly soon. Not immediately, but we are going to be gearing up for it, and what all the ammo preparation has been for. You may have noticed that as I've been going through, I did grab ammo earlier. In total, I'm going to need, I think it's like 50 bullets. We start with 10, and I think we get like 4 health pickups, or 4 ammo pickups. I think it's 4. I'm not gonna lie, I just know which ones to grab. I never know the exact amount of ammo. Ammo counts are kind of weird in this game. But we'll be seeing it right here. This room is going to have both a coin and the ammo. So right here is the ammo. Oh, right here. And right here is the coin. Also, it's Angela. She's, you know, she's chilling. You know, it's kind of funny that we don't really see Angela at all in the run. Like, we interact with Eddie. We don't really interact with Angela, sadly. Alright, but now we got our coins. So, the answer's always the same. It is going to be gold 5. Maybe it's my rank competitive, well, I play competitive gaming. That's my rank. I have silver 2, also my rank. Also, another little thing I am doing is whenever I'm going through this, I'm hitting the pause button. That just lets me go to the item menu a little bit faster. And Snake 4, also my competitive rank. Alright, and with that, we have everything, and we are ready to fight the boss. First boss of the game is going to be Pyramid Head, and normally this fight is very hard. Pyramid Head is one of the meanest enemies in the game. He's also the only enemy in the game that has the power to one-shot you. The Great Knife has, you know, games. I'm getting some mean camera angles here. The Great Knife has the power to one-shot James from any health state and on any difficulty. So if you're even on, like, baby mode, you can get just one shot by the Great Knife. It's very powerful, and on hard mode, it's even more powerful. Obviously, we're speedrunning, so I'm lying to you. I'm not lying to you in that way, but, just watch. I'm gonna count to 4. 1. I'm going to be walking into the whole time. This makes him trying to forever walk into me to hit me, but he's never going to be able to do it because I'm blocking his path, too. The strat's very efficient because I'm just unloading every bullet directly into his skull. 3. After the count of 4, we're going to be almost done. We're going to count to 5 after that. 4, and now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After taking 45 bullets to the skull, he's kind of annoyed by us. And hey, look, that was the first fight. He's dead. He's more annoyed than dead. He's kind of just limping away. Goodbye, Pyramid Head. Goodbye. Let's go. Yeah. All right, and that is the apartments. Pretty good so far. We have a pretty chill spot as well coming up. Yeah. This part of the game is always pretty nice. We're going to be introduced to basically every character in the game, more or less. Oh, hey, look, there's Laura. She's gone. She just sort of shows up for a second. Gives you the lore drop. Also, this isn't faster, but it's kind of funny. Like, it's faster to push the button, but you skip the cuts. It's a cutscene. But, oh my god, look, it's the park. Wait, James, where are you going? Wait, James. So this is that park. Oh. There we go. It could be slower if you don't know where you're going, but, you know, it's pretty chill. Anyway, here's Maria. She's going to be basically irrelevant for the entirety of the run. It's kind of weird. Maria is also a really good escort mission. Most escort missions, you have to care about your teammate, you have to protect them, you have to make sure they don't get too far behind you. Maria basically will follow you no matter how far away you are, and she can take a couple of hits from the enemies. So, we're just gonna beeline it directly to the next spot, which ends up being, you know, pretty fast. Now, there is one very important thing we're going to have to do in this portion, which is I'm going to have to grab the lead pipe. At this point in the game, normally, you know, you wouldn't have to care too much because, you know, it's a lead pipe, it's not mandatory. But I mentioned earlier, by skipping the combat tutorial, I don't have a melee weapon. So this pipe will be the one that we use, because we are going to need it for a puzzle later. Thought it crashed? No, just a funny little cutscene. Oh, look, there she is, she caught up. This is the pizza cutscene. Normally I would watch it, but, I'm gonna try and get us back some time. Let's see. This town is full of monsters. How can you just sit there and eat pizza? She said it was fine. She said she was fine by herself. She just said a fatso like me would slow her down. Forget you. There you go. Alright, we did it. Alright, Maria's back. The sun has gone down. See, we sped around. It's called daylight savings. In reality, we're making progress through the game, going to the bowling alley, activates Laura. Laura can now allow us to go to the hospital. Kind of one of those things that you have to check in. There's a lot of, like, you know, activations and triggers. You go to the back here, you find out Laura is gone, that then unlocks this door, and then you can go through, and now we can make our way over to the hospital. The hospital is going to be the second hub in the game. I will be grabbing a health kit because more health is going to be better. We actually do have some rough bits coming up. In fact, I would argue the hospital is probably one of the hardest portions of the game in many ways. Some tight hallways, some mean enemies. It can go really bad really fast. Alrighty, the hospital, however, also has a really huge speedrun skip, and it's actually those magic numbers I said earlier. For those of you who don't remember, the numbers are 1778 and 8597. We still do need to grab a couple of regular keys, so we can't just grab the, it's 2 numbered keys, 2 numeric, or 2 physical keys. We already have the numbered keys, because they're in the, you know, they're in the head. The actual keys, though, I need to find. I also do want to make sure I'm not going to be taking too much damage. Alright, that's good. We dodged a hit. Grab a needle. Grab a shotgun. The shotgun will be a very important weapon for quite a lot of this run. So much so that not only do we want the gun, I am also going to want ammo for the gun. Get our other key, get the bullets. And now we can go up here. Now, it's going to be a number code. This number code's always the same. I don't even know the numbers. It's the shape of a T. It's like this. Yep. I don't even remember. I just know it's a T. All right, Maria's feeling tired, probably because we just went really fast and her legs gave out. That's understandable. And now we're going to check out the roof. You know, now that we have Maria cramping our style, we're going to check out the roof. What happens on the roof? I take 4 steps. And then I turn around, take another, like, few steps. And then I trip. And oh my god, Pyramid Head! He's mad we hit him 45 times in the skull! Alright, so Pyramid Head always hits you here, and yeah, as you can imagine, he sets your health basically to 0. That is why the health did not matter. Hey, get out of the way, you. The health doesn't really matter because Pyramid Head will always set your health to a set amount. It's like, I think it's like 5, like you can take 1 or 2 hits, but otherwise it's pretty grim. I also did grab extra health because this hallway does get pretty mean. And now we have the box. This is the puzzle box. I got the 2 physical keys, and let's see those magic numbers. Once again, it was 1778 and 8597, so 8597 and 1778. Oh my god, he is a wizard! That was the RNG manipulation. We have done it correctly, and now I'll know every single answer in the game well before I should. And it's funny because these are really random answers, and they go to absurd degrees. Any more Great Knife only in the pipeline? Only during April Fools. It is currently July. So, not at the moment, no. We can actually do a little bit of save scummery here. Quick save, quick load in the elevator. That will allow us to save a little bit of time, oddly enough. It's pretty goofy, but it's working out. And now we're going to be hitting, let's say the second boss of the game. This boss is Flesh Lips, and this is probably one of the hardest bosses to learn. But let's see if we can do it quick. Ready? I'm going to pop a shot really quickly. I'm going to walk back. I'm going to hope that they don't aggro together. At this point, we're going to fire again. Looks like we are safe. I want to get about 5 shots in very close. There's 4. It's good. I got a kill. I'm going to walk back. I'm now going to reload. I'll come up right to me. Might go for a kick. That's fine. Damage in Silent Hill is very particular. Alright, that was really clean, actually. That was greedy, but it worked. There's 3, 4, maybe 5? 5? 6. Okay. That was fine. It's like, let's say 4 to 6 shots. Damage is variable. It's not always the same. One more comes out. It's faster, stronger, and better too. It's the second member of the Donkey Kong crew. I don't know what I'm talking about, chat. I just kind of woke up. I don't think Donkey Kong shows up in this game. I think that was Donkey Kong where he does that. Alright, and that's Flesh Lips. Pretty good fight, actually. Very good fight. What puzzle difficulty is news for speedrun? Actually, funny enough, I have a theory. I am pretty sure that people have not been doing this yet. Hard mode's best for the speedrun. But also, we're on hard mode, so you have to pick hard. It's hard, hard. It's not hard. It's hard, hard. Alrighty, so, really good boss fight, and that will allow me to talk a little bit about damage while I go through here, because this section is way easier now. I am going to have to be careful because I don't know why. For some reason, this one elevator, you can't do the quick save, quick load. I don't know why this one. Like, you can't do it here. If you do it here, it will soft lock the game, which is bad. I don't know. It's weird, right? Okay, so, combat in this game. I mentioned it's variable. What does that mean? So, combat in this game is based on 2 things. 1, proximity. 2, counter hits. So, if you get a parry, you actually do more damage. If they're mid-animation for an attack, you will do more damage on your attacks. As you can imagine, that ends up being very good, and ideally, for certain bosses, we would like them to attack us while we are attacking them. It will make the fight much, much swifter. As well, if I am closer to the enemy for any weapon, I will do more damage. It is straight up just a damage amp, and that is why I'm trying to get in very specific spots with that fleshlight fight. Oh look, Maria's back! She was actually just chilling in the basement. Also, I'm very glad I played it safe, because I am eating almost every nurse hit. I should have one more medikit, I think. Oh yeah, but hard mode. Hard mode is funny because, uh-oh, I'm low. Oh, this could be bad. Hold on. I'm gonna play it safe. Luckily for us, even if we die, we're saving literally every hallway, so it's not too bad. But I should try and be careful here. Alright, good. Alright, we should be fine now. A little bit risky, but that is okay. Yeah, I've been having some really bad nurses. I'm glad I grabbed that extra health kit because I would have died otherwise. Alright, so, we won't be too bad. Luckily, we shouldn't be getting hit anymore. Like, the hospital is a very mean area, could go bad. But we actually have the hardest boss in the game coming up. This is the Hallway Pyramid Head, and obviously I'm lying to you. This is the speed run. We're not going to do that. Normally this is supposed to be really hard because you have to fight a boss and escort Maria, and she is going to get chunked. However, we can do a little glitch right at the start here by mashing the game save button. And it's not game saved, it's Gantt saved. And it's too dark for the boss fight. So I'm going to go through the entirety of the Pyramid Head chase. He's not going to spawn in. It's weird because tripping is activated in this hallway, and Maria's pretty slow, so if she goes through this normally, she will die. However, since I am basically only spawning him at the very end, this happens, which we will watch this cutscene because it's funny. It's also a neat little caveat of hard mode because you're not supposed to be doing this. Save anywhere. Name undecided, Forrest. Wait, chat, what was her name again? Oh, that's right. Her name was Parking Lot. It wasn't Maria. Our name was Forrest. She's Parking Lot. And like a parking lot, she got paved. She's now dead. RIP Parking Lot. It's okay. We will go on to, I don't know, be outside the hospital, I guess. I guess that's what parking lots do. They be outside. I don't think they really do much outside of that. They're kind of a physical... They're not even an object. They're more like a place. Alright, so we can finally calm down a little bit. While the run has been going pretty good, we're now entering the open streets. Normally during GDQ runs, this would be a good time for donations. So I'll take a chance to say, I hope you all enjoyed SGDQ and had fun watching a lot of the runs. Today, I normally have more time to talk in the beginning of Hotfix shows, but with, you know, I'm pretty sure I think Fallout crashed, so we were running a little bit behind. So basically, yeah, I hope you all had fun at GDQ, hope you all had fun watching. We are back to the Crypt, and for today's show, I decided to plan out a lot of fun little cool speedruns that I think are nice. I try to make it very varied, because, you know, very, because I think horror games are pretty unique, and horror is everywhere. So I try to pick 4 very different horror games that I think will be pretty nice. I'm very excited. Well, we will have to have RE7 another day. You know... The sentiment's still the same. And yeah, hopefully you had fun with that. I'm actually very excited for the other runs coming up. A lot of fun advancements, and I know the runners have been doing a lot of work throughout. Funny enough, while preparing for the Crypt, we'll learn about it later, but one of our runners got a world record twice in their game. And we'll be learning about that as we go. Ooh. Parking Lot's a beautiful name, that it is. How many times we saved the game? Usually it's anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 times. Hell, you can actually take a guess. I'm gonna guess like 2,317. I don't know, that sounds about right. Alright, hey, now that we're in the streets, let's talk about another caveat. Remember in the beginning of the game how we skipped the combat tutorial? Well, just because we skipped it doesn't mean that it's not still present. During this portion of the game, we have to do a lot of backtracking. We have to grab a wrench, which then allows us to get a key, which then allows us to go to a new, like, the next hub, right? The combat tutorial is still in the game. And you might be thinking, what does that mean? It means I now need to activate the text glitch again. Because one of the locations we have to go through is actually right next to the combat tutorial. And if I get too close with it, what will happen is I will reactivate it. Which, if it reactivates, I will basically soft lock the game because I'm in a part of the game I should not be interacting with the combat tutorial. So, yeah, funny enough, you actually have to do the same trick again, which is kind of funny. The only downside is the game does get a little bit dark on where James is going. Luckily, you know, it's a lot easier to run through this than one would think. Also, another added upside to this little strat is I do despawn every enemy in the road, which makes it pretty safe. So it's quite nice. We are going to have 2 more long-running sections after this. This is usually like a really chill time. It's long, too. So, it does add up a wee bit. But, what can I say? I do love running Silent 2. A lot of you may be wondering as well, why did I pick Silent 2 as, like, the backup game? Well, obviously, you know, as the host of Speedruns From the Crypt, I feel like a lot of people who work with GDQ also, you know, speedrun games. At least, you know, I kind of comes with the territory. So in this case, I run a lot of horror games, and I think Silent 2 is my most played horror game. This is my most played speedrun. It's one of my favorites. This is kind of my pet category as well, because, again, I like the boss fights. I think hard mode has some unique tech that's really cool, like the Pyramid Head chase skip that you have. So, I always like, you know, like, it's a pocket game, it's somewhere in the pocket. Also, yes, I do have world record in this category. I actually got it fairly recently, and it was pretty good. It took a while for me to get it. But I'm very proud of that record. Could it be beat? Yeah, I think it's beatable. But it was the first 42 the game has ever seen. Which also should be mentioned. I said 42, yet the hour, like, the estimate's like 1 hour. The reason for that is that this game runs on in-game time. So, a lot of the time save is actually based on the internal timer and not the real timer. That's why the elevator quick save, quick load thing actually works. Anyway, I'm glad that I grabbed that key because a funny thing that can happen if you are forgetful is you can end up doing the big walk of shame that is about 2 minutes of having to walk back to this area, which, as you can imagine, runs into its own set of problems. Also, you know, as a horror enjoyer, the horror blocks were pretty tight. If you missed them during GDQ, there were 2 of them, and I believe it was Evil Thin going to a game called In Stars and Time, and then the other one was Requiem going all the way to Ghosts and Goblins. And yeah, horror blocks are good this time around. I mean, they're always good, but you know, this time around they were also good. A lot of fun games. Alright, let's see here. Don't worry, everyone. We are almost out of the section of gameplay where I am running in the dark. You just need a little bit more. I'm gonna take a wide line to avoid that one. I'm pretty sure I'm near death right now. Like, maybe 1 or 2 hits away. I might be, like, just right under the threshold. Luckily, we'll be able to heal before the next portion, but I'm probably gonna grab a lot of safety health when we need it. Alrighty, now we just run down the stairs and we're good to go. Last little long portion, and we are chillin'. We are chillin'. I'm still waking up a little bit. My schedule got kind of weird from GDQ week. So I'm trying to get back in the usual routine. I also need to get food at some point today. Sorry, we're just like running down these long stairs. Okay, fun fact about the game. These stairs are just long. They're not like looping or anything like, you know, Mario. They just programmed in really long stairs because that was the funniest way of doing that. Alright, now I will heal. There's the safety health, so we're not dead, just making sure. We're now going to be entering a well. This is going to be the reason why we needed the melee weapon, because inside this well, you're going to find out that you cannot escape unless you have a melee weapon. We're going to be going right here with, like, the red tip of paper. That lets us out. And now we are back here. Normally, this would be a terrible RNG puzzle. It's awful. But you may have noticed, I didn't even... This is not manipulated. I'm not even memorizing the answer because we don't need it. I'm going to pick up the item. I'm going to hit quick save, and then I'll hit quick load. What that is going to do is that is going to allow me to duplicate the item. It's a new type of trick. Unfortunately, it's only really used here, but I can just exit the room. I have the key. I also get to keep my battery, which isn't going to do anything. It's a battery. But by doing so, you actually skip an RNG puzzle that is brutal. It's probably one of the worst puzzles in the game. Pretty cool, huh? Alrighty, now we are in the prison. The prison's pretty short in the original game. The remake really added a lot more to the prison, which I'm both happy and sad with. Happy as a casual gamer, sad as a speedrunner. So right now, right? We're gonna be grabbing 3 plates. Where these also not only plates, we're also grabbing other resources. We're gonna make a wacky key, but we need plates in order to do this. Also, thank you for the kind words, chat. Yep, there we go. We now have all the plates. By having all the plates, we will be able to very quickly grab the last little bit here that we need. Oh, it's only the second of 3 items. We do all of this for a horseshoe, by the way. Anyway, if you want to hear something funny, you know, this is the sound of me waking up every morning. Like, every morning, it's just this. Ready? Every single morning, the blood-curdling scream. Quite horrifying. Really shocks the neighbors to the core, as you might guess. Have fun, Brody. That is what I would say. Have fun with this game. We are going to be grabbing a lot of extra health because I do not trust this game right now. Plus, we have a generous estimate. No reason not to. And with that, we have the magical key, which is a wax doll, a lighter, and a horseshoe. It makes a handle, except you don't get to see the handle, because like all the little animations, we can actually skip this. Save a little bit of time that way, and now we're going to be jumping through a bunch of holes and riding an elevator. This should be the final calm before the storm. While we are in the elevator, I am going to be grabbing 3 things: handgun bullets, shotgun shells, and another medkit. There's also rifle rounds here if you wanted the rifle, but you may have noticed I did not grab the rifle. Why? The rifle's actually not really all that good. I will load the shotgun and I will load the pistol, because I do need that. But we really mainly need the pistol. You know what's funny? I don't even think we use the shotgun for the rest of the game. We need the shotgun. Why did I load it? We don't use it anymore. Wait, yeah, we don't use it for the rest of the game. Why did I load that? I don't know. Force a habit, I guess? We do need to load the pistol, though. Am I making the... Yeah, no, that's me every morning. Every morning I make that sound. It's me. Yeah, I am filling in for this run. I actually had to plan the show a month in advance, so, a little bit more urgency for this one. It was a bit of an odd one. Alrighty, now we are in the labyrinth. The labyrinth has something pretty cool. This is a hard and normal mode exclusive. Easy mode, baby mode does not do this. Okay. So, we're going to Pyramid Head's house, and we're going to steal his great knife. It's ours now. Believe it or not, the great knife is not a New Game Plus weapon. It's just chilling in Pyramid Head's house. And now it belongs in our pocket. The Great Knife is a very efficient weapon. It is very good. But if you've watched Great Knife only, you know the caveat of that weapon, which is it makes you move very slow. We're not going to be running with the Great Knife because, as you can imagine, that's very slow. Also, this is the head puzzle. It is a single movement down. This is randomized. However, the randomization can only really help the runner, not hurt the runner. So it ends up working out in our favor. But the Great Knife is going to be very, very important because that is going to be allowing us to do the final, like basically every boss fight from here on out is going to use the Great Knife. There are some rather tough bosses, and with the Great Knife, we're going to make them much more trivial. There will be some pretty interesting setups if you like cool boss fights, and yeah, I'm actually really excited to show those off. Hopefully we land them all well. It could go bad, but you know, we just have to be a little bit careful. In total, there are about 3 boss fights left in the game. You would be thinking 4, but we have a fun little trick for one of them. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's always whenever he falls down, +1 bullet. That is why we loaded the handgun. Make sure this guy can get out of the way, because otherwise he would be body blocking us. But that way, yeah, no, I just knock him down and he gets out of the way pretty quick. As long as I have the flashlight off, most of these enemies won't hit me. If you dilly-dally too much, they might. Okay, now we're about to fight Abstract Daddy, and we'll see Angela again. This just would be like a huge boss fight, big moment, except it's too dark for the boss fight. We're going to ignore it. And that was Abstract Daddy. Oh my god, no damage, she did it! Wow, no way! And now we're on the counterfeit puzzle. It's a 1 in 6 chance to be correct. It's the first one. Why? We manipulated it earlier. That is the counterfeit. By pulling that rope, I now have it magically done. You're supposed to like look at the puzzle, look at each of the guys, make sure you pick the right one. If you pick the wrong one, a terrible fate awaits you, which is like 2 basic enemies. Or actually, I think it's 3 on hard mode. But hey, I got the key, and now we are out skis. And thank you, chat, for the kind words as well. Alright, so that was, yeah, that was supposed to be Abstract Daddy. Now we're gonna be getting ready to fight Eddie. Eddie's an actual boss fight, by the way. He's a 2-part boss fight, and he is a, actual fight. He's also one of the harder fights in the game. Which is funny, because I always keep seeing a video of, like, Eddie getting bonked on the head repeatedly, which, I don't even know how you get that done. I think it's like a normal mode strat. Because hard mode Eddie's kind of a monster. Like, he is absurdly fast. It actually ends up being a bit of a problem. Now, Eddie is going to be rather tough. He is not an easy boss fight. He's also 2 phases. Eddie also does some of the most damage in the entire game. Not the most damage, but he's a fight that can go really wrong really fast. Now, I've been talking about the Great Knife, but let's kind of talk about some properties of the Great Knife. The Great Knife has great damage, you move slow. However, with great damage comes great responsibility. By using the Great Knife, we're going to take out both faces of Eddie very quickly. This just gives me time to talk about Eddie. You get to see him. Look, it's Eddie! What are you doing? What are you doing? And we're going to take down Eddie. We're not going to do it. We're doing a cheese, but not quite a cheese. Anyway. I'm going to prep the weapon. He either punches me or walks away. He punched me. He's going to walk back. And now I will get prep the swing. Bonk him in the head once. That hits him. You can fire a gun here. However, it's a little bit safer to wait for a moment and then bonk him again. 2 hits. Big damage to Eddie. Eddie phase 1 is down. And now we're at... I didn't need that. Now we're entering Eddie phase 2. Eddie phase 2 is weird. I'm going to get the shotgun. I'm going to walk right here. I'm going to prep the knife. I'm going to wait for a second. I did not do a horizontal slash. I'm probably going to get punched. That's fine. I will heal. I'm going to walk right here. I want to make sure Eddie keeps beating his meat while I hit him. Oh, okay. He might come back. Okay, Eddie got bad. This is fun. He's dead. Eddie? By the way, James is somehow amazed that Eddie died after that. Eddie? Like, he walks up to him after, like, you know, shooting him repeatedly and, like, hitting him with a great knife, and then he's just surprised. Anyway, funny fact about the boat. The boat speed is tied to James's speed. Luckily for us, we get to see a fast boat. But if you've seen the Great Knife Only run, yeah, oh my god, dude, I overshot that. Hold on, that's pretty bad. I've been trying to practice different tech for this boat. We just need to go that light, and we want to have the boat basically aligned with it. It should be right about... Alright, we got it. That's good. Wait. Overshot a little bit. I think it'll be fun. Yeah, so the only thing I messed up there was I wanted a horizontal slash, not a vertical slash. It's a little bit odd on how it works. I think it's usually based on, like, holding down the button. I've been getting vertical slashes the last few days, but it's alright. I think we should be fine. I think. The game seems to save a lot more often than the remake. That it does. Alright, there's the boat. I can now go back to controller, and now we're going to be entering the hotel. The hotel is actually really cool because we have arguably one of the coolest skips in the game. We also need to grab this box early. That is one of the 3 final puzzle bits. And before we can actually activate the hotel, we need to go to this room, because this will give us the, I think it's called the fish key. That's going to open a briefcase later. Also, I can shoot this piano. It doesn't do anything. I said they can just mess around here.
Did I scare you?
Yeah. Okay. So, now that I've been scared by Laura, I'm now going to run into the void. I cannot handle that fear. I'm going to do the quick save glitch text storage. I'm going to drop down right here. I'll run forward a little bit. And like so, I should be okay, I think. A little bit risky. I think I might be too high up. I hope I'm not. But if I did this right, we should see 2 loads. There's one. Let's see. I think a second thing, it should be like a door or like a room. There it is. I'm now going to swap my direction. I start by holding up. Now I'm holding down left. And I want to make sure that I'm going to be good. And after going out of bounds... Oh, hey, look. We're back in bounds. So, what did that do? Normally, Silent 2, there's a portion of the game where you need to go through the staff elevator, and you have to get rid of all of your inventory. That allows you to get the videotape, and that also allows you to get various tools to get you out of here. You're also able to get the 3rd plate that we need. Now, the catch of that is... You know, you have to do a pretty interesting out of bounds. It's not too hard to do, but it can get pretty rough for the setup. Which usually I have 2 setups. I start going for the YOLO strat. After that, I do have a bit of a manip that works. Doesn't always work, but you want to get that very quick, especially for top level runs. The funny thing too is at this point you're not meant to have any weapons or any like flashlights or anything, but obviously we do. Also for safety, I will grab this med kit. Why not? I'm gonna grab a lot more than we need because the end game can get pretty brutal, and you know I'd rather be safe than sorry. It's run going good. It's going all right. It's not gonna be like a PB or anything, but it's pretty good. Like it's a solid marathon setting run. All right, now we're out there. My flashlight doesn't work. I need a flashlight. Okay, so, we do have one more puzzle to get to the final, like, you know, it's a puzzle to get the final puzzle, key, if that makes sense. And what this puzzle is going to be coming up is, it is a 19 randomized word. It's like 19 or 17, I can't remember. Either way, it's very randomized, and normally what runners would do in the past is, you would just either, you know, brute force it, or you would solve the puzzle. However, I already did that. The word is damn, as in, damn, this run's been going all right. I also just run into these guys. I can kind of push them out of the way, which is pretty clean. And here's the briefcase. Like I said, the word is going to be... damn. Alright, and with that, we're getting ready for the end game. This is the final hub. We're going to be going through the other world, or the overworld if you want to go that way. And that is going to allow us to get to the final boss rush. There's going to be 2 bosses left in the game. It's funny because starting with Eddie, this is definitely the hard part, I would say. I can also do a little quick save here. That'll allow me to just get closer to the store. That has a key I need. Okay. So, we now have everything we need for the end of the game. Ready? It's a videotape, oh! When's the last time you saw a videotape, huh? That's what I don't know. It's been a while. Analog media, oh no, oh no. They also have the scary hallway from that meme with SpongeBob in it. Oh my god, how terrifying. Alright. So, like I said, not much left in the game. We have 2 boss fights. Boss fight 1 is not that bad. Really cool setup. It normally is a hard fight, but with speedrunning, it's going to be a little bit easier. Final boss, however, much, much harder. In fact, I'm grabbing all this health for the final boss. Finally, I also am grabbing the health of the other boss, because even with the easy setup, it can still have problems. Anyway, here's Angela. Angela's gone. Goodbye, Angela. We do have a couple more hallways left. Hopefully I don't get poked in my feet. I'll swap to the shotgun. Alright, this is the dual pyramid head fight. I'm going to ignore both of them, and I'm going to run into this corner. I'm going to turn around, go with the great knife. I'm not going to go in my options setting. I'm going to go to rotational, also known as tank controls. And now what we're going to do is we're going to aim at the one on the right side of the screen. I'll eat a hit because it'll give me prep time, and I'm going to do wide swings. By doing so, I'm able to bounce the great knife off the wall repeatedly, and by doing this, I'm doing big damage to both of them. They have a shared health pool, so in addition to big damage, I'm also permanently stun locking them. This makes one of the hardest fights in the game very, very trivial, while you do eat 1 hit. I mean, you don't always eat a hit, but usually you're going to eat at least 1 hit. These enemies are pretty deadly. They'll kill you in about 2 to 3 hits. But hey, look, they're dead. Or should I say pyramid dead? Alright, pyramid dead is now dead. And, you know, like all pyramid heads, they lay eggs. I'm going to use their eggs to open these doors. There is technically another strat you can do here where you do not change the, you know, to tank controls. But tank controls is much safer, and, you know, you don't lose much time doing it anyway. There is a little bit of time save here where you can run through this hallway, smashing game save, and that kind of skips the life dialogue. Not entirely, we're just running through it.
Some flowers.
Flowers?
You can sit here if you want to cry, which I was actually listening to it while doing the sound audio, and I was tearing up a little bit. We're not going to listen to that, but beautiful, beautiful.
Deserve flowers.
Last but not least, we're going to be doing a little bit of a strat here. We're going to be strafing. By strafing, normally you run up, you have this little block. If you do a barbershop quartet thing and strafe, or you can also run it certain diagonals. Much tougher on that part, but it's faster than this. Either way, both methods are faster than straight up running, because this is going to give you full movement speed, and it's kind of goofy because it's supposed to be like a heartbreaking moments, but James is doing the barbershop quartet, like that's all folks to leave the stage. Now, ending choice. It's always going to be Maria unless you make a pre-made save file. She'll often open up with moths. This fight's terrible. It is RNG. There's also a few things to this fight. There is a manipulated strat. It is slower than random. So unfortunately for us, I want to go for wide swings and hope I can get close damage. I also hope she does not give me moths. This fight can go really, really bad. That is why I grabbed all that health. Funny enough as well, the worst part of grinding this game for world record right now is easily this fight. Ow. Maybe? Hey, okay, that's it. Could be a hit. Nice. That was big damage, too. Right next to her, she was even attacking. Is this live? Yeah, well, this be live. Big damage. Getting some good swings in here. You know what's sad? It actually has been a really good fight, funny enough. Ow. Oh, until that. See, the moment I opened my mouth, it got worse. Maybe? Nope. Anyway, time is coming up. I thought that would be it. I think we have one more hit. The safer strat, though, is that you can hit her with a pipe in a very specific way, and that will get her stuck. Anyway, time. We do have a couple more cutscenes for the IGT. We will see it. And there we go. We got a 45:03. Pretty good marathon run. We had 2,490 saves. Pretty good run. Can't complain there. I hope you all enjoyed it. That was Silent Hill 2. I have been both your host and runner Ecdysis. I'll be going back to host Ecdysis in one moment. A lot of fun runs. I do want to say that we'll have. I know the runner of RE7 did get sick. We'll have Zeke on for another time. I was talking to him. I let him know. So hopefully he feels better soon. I wanted to do a run that was a little bit shorter so we can kind of make the estimate and all that. So hey. Hope you all enjoyed Silent Hill 2. As a runner, I do a lot of horror games. I speedrun over 200 of them. I've been grinding out a lot of them recently too. So we've been doing a lot of PBs, and I've been doing a lot of big marathons. I plan on doing a bunch of franchises this coming week and next week. So check me out on Twitch. I have my info somewhere on the channel. I think it's in chat. Yeah, all right. Anyway, all right, that was the runner Ecdysis. Now for the host Ecdysis. I hope you enjoy that run of Silent Hill 2. It's an awesome game, one of the best games ever made. We have more runs coming for you in one moment. We have to get our runners ready, though, so we are going to be right back very quick. Don't go anywhere. We shall be right back. All right, everyone, welcome back from the break. Hope you all enjoyed that run of Silent Hill 2. We're back over here, back on the regular screen, yeah. But yeah, anyway, now I can do a kind of more even explanation of what we're doing. I picked a bunch of cool games that I thought would be fitting to kind of say, welcome to Horror Block, welcome to Speedruns From the Crypt. Those of you who, I know, after GDQ events, you want more speedrunning, so I try to pick some varied runs. This next run is from a game that I really like, and it's not a game you might expect. This game is like a GTA meets a true crime kind of clone, which you may be thinking, how is that horror? Because they had one of those weird horror DLCs. There's gonna be Sleeping Dogs, Nightmare at North Point Any Percent featuring Froob, who's going to tell us more about this run. Anyway, take it away.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ek. So yeah, as Ek said, this is Sleeping Dogs, specifically the Definitive Edition, mostly because there's not that much change with the DLC, but for the main any percent of Sleeping Dogs, Definitive allows us to do a couple of tricks a little bit easier and a little bit faster. So we're obviously doing Nightmare at North Point on the DLC as well. Ek summed it up really, really nicely in terms of just, this is just a horror story, just a random horror DLC in a GTA-esque game, which you'll understand very quickly why Ek asked this on the show. Ek also does runs of the main Sleeping Dogs as well. Ek is a very good friend of mine, very happy to be here at 4:30 in the morning. It's good. So we're going to get going pretty quickly here. This isn't that long of a run, which is really nice. So we'll get going with time in 3, 2, 1, go. So we actually start by doing a trick immediately. What we're going to do is not follow the guy we're supposed to follow, who's made of fire, and instead we're going to run away from him. And you'll see on the left-hand side, don't lose your target. If that goes down to 0, that's the game over. So you're probably wondering, what am I going to do? I'm going to look through the wall, because for some reason, walls are a suggestion in Sleeping Dogs. This is something that we do in the main any percent as well, where as long as they're within 300 meters and you just look in their general direction, walls don't exist. It's great. So one thing we don't have access to in the main game are these vending machines. They give us increased fistfight damage. Now, there's actually, technically there's 3 DLCs, but there's actually 2 DLCs for Sleeping Dogs. There is Nightmare at North Point, which is the one that you're seeing now, and also Year of the Snake. And the interesting thing about both of these DLCs is you can actually surmise them quite nicely between each other. Nightmare North Point that you're going to see here today is more melee focused, whereas the Year of the Snake is actually a bit more gun focused. The reason why I'm actually following the flame guy here is because they can actually get stuck on these stalls, which is really annoying. So you kind of have to just... they are physical, even though, you know, they don't look like they exist. You can push them away a bit. It's our main villain of this DLC. This is a Smiley Cat.
A really terrifying name at that.
Yup. So these are the Jiangshi. As you can see, these are essentially the Chinese spirits that are coming at the ground. What I'm doing is I'm doing the quickest way to deal with them in the early game, which is to stun them and then throw them. Now, this stun attack is really weird to pull off on mouse and keyboard. You have to lock on by holding right mouse button, then hold F to be able to throw them. And then in that time that you are doing the animation of the throw, you have to hold left mouse button to attack. And as long as you are not pressing any other input, you'll do the stun attack. It's really weird. It's like a late game kind of upgrade that you can get in the main game. But because it's the DLC, this just gives us all of our normal attacks, which includes some really strong ones like Surprise Exchange that Ek will know well from the any %. That's going to allow us a little bit later to be able to just one-shot these enemies a little bit more easier. But for this early part, we're just going to be doing a lot of locking on, grabbing, stunning, and taking care of them. So yeah, as you can see, this is very, very melee focused. We actually won't be using a gun at all during this DLC. We are going to get a little bit more in terms of different enemy variety coming up in a little bit, but it's mostly going to be the Jiangshi that we actually take care of.
Did he have a girl with him? Yes.
So essentially, one of the NPCs that you meet in the main Sleeping Dogs, she's been taken by Smiley Cat. We're gonna go up her and get her back, and she's in this area, which is actually the very first, like one of the very first rooms in the main game itself that you do a big fight in. So the first mission is nice and quick, and then when we get to that, happens sometimes where Wei will just randomly go for the guy behind him because Wei loves to do that. But essentially, we are going to replicate a bit of speed tech that we do in the main any % by going out of bounds. So we need to get a phone call from Old Salty. We can get it now by waiting here, but you can also just run straight forward and delay that phone call until you stop standing still. There's nothing we can really do speed tech wise with it, so we're just gonna take it now and just get it out of the way so we know, you know, we gotta go this way. As part of this DLC, everyone has glowing eyes because, as you can see, random civilians can be enemies as well. This can be a little bit problematic in this mission, actually, so hopefully that won't happen. But essentially, with all these Chinese spirits, don't worry about that. That's going to happen a lot. With all these Chinese spirits, we're going to have to find a way to deal with them. Now, we're going to do a little bit of speed tech here before we speak to Vincent. We're going to go into the kitchen. I'm going to go to the top part here. Try and speak to him from the very top here, and that way we can just run backwards and go to the door ahead of time. If you're too close to Vincent, you can't actually move after you start speaking to him, so you have to wait there until all this dialogue goes on, and then carry on.
What the hell is going on? I don't know.
So, this is a little trickier to pull off than it is in the main any %. It's a little bit of a different setup. Because for some reason, what we're going to do is we're going to get locked into a fight arena here, and we're going to break out of bounds by going over that fence on the right-hand side. Now, these are stronger Chinese spirits. This guy we're going to have to deal with, but we cannot deal any damage to him right now. So I'm going to do a little bit of setup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get over here quickly. Climb this bit. If you climb this bit in the any %, you get game over. In the DLC, that's the only way to get on here. Then I'm going to try and jump over this fence. That is unfortunate. If I don't get this in time, there is a nice little backup that I can do. But anytime you try and attack this guy, he will just teleport away. Probably going to be a little too late to grab this now, but that's fine. So it's a little bit harder to get over this fence than it is any %. There's like a bit of a bigger invisible barrier there for some reason. Also, he's not wrong. We can't kill him right now. So essentially what I would have done by jumping out of bounds there is gone to a car on the street and just gotten a tire iron. Now the nice thing is, Salty's car has actually got a tire iron in the trunk. So I'm just going to get that instead. And Salty's gonna tell us how to beat all these spirits.
Chinese magic to beat him. Go see Ho Fa Wu. He's got the best magic tea in the city.
What that word?
Shitting me? You just try to punch out an undead creature, huh? And you think I'm kidding?
I always said get out of there after you already left the arena.
Yup.
Wait, get out of there! I already long gone, man.
So yeah, I'm gonna grab that Tyrant. It's just in Old Salty's boot. It's your backup. Ideally, I don't grab that one, but we're actually gonna be ditching Old Salty's car. Old Salty's car, we actually get for one mission in the any percent as well. It looks like it is rusted and a complete piece of crap, but Ed can attest that this car's actually pretty good.
Yeah. It's kind of a bummer you don't get to use it more, though.
Yes, and then we're going to do a little bit of tech that I believe Ek did the naming for. We're going to do a bit of car food, because Chinese spirits apparently can't handle being hit by a car. Can you do? No, I wouldn't be able to either. Don't worry about that guy. We're trying to save him. Like, I don't mean by not ramming him, you know, with the car, but I'm actually kind of surprised the other one, yeah, went down as well.
Yeah, there's something kind of cool about the world of Sleeping Dogs, that you can die by getting ran over by a car, come back as a ghost, and then be dead again because the same guy ran you over with the car.
You're going to need my specialty. I need 3 ingredients: ghost pepper,
Ingredients.
the egg of an albino hen, and antifreeze. The good stuff, not that crap they sell on the mainland.
Yeah, the good
Be
stuff,
careful,
chap.
Way.
The good stuff.
The 18K are looking for this stuff too. I hear they're trying to make the tea themselves.
Okay, so now that we know the recipe, let's drive off. So, the nice thing is the markers for most of where we're going are pretty much set. They're pretty much the fastest way that we can get to what we need. We get a little bit of backstory on the villain. Also, every so often, I will be using my boost to go forward. It makes us go a little bit further. You don't want to do it too early. There's like a set rhythm to it, depending on the car that you're in. Ideally, I didn't want to be on the stairs for this. I don't know what just happened here. What is this?
Did the wall just generate?
I can't move. I might have soft-locked the game. Thankfully, I can restart from checkpoint. We'll lose a bunch of time, but... yeah, neat. I could have a car of some kind. You'll have to do. Yeah, this is Sleeping Dogs, by the way. This happens occasionally.
Did the wall just spawn in? Like,
yes, I'm gonna say the words. That's never happened before.
well, it was the week after GDQ.
Yeah. But I have a slower car. And I gotta deal with this again. So, again, if you're missed it at home, need 3 ingredients.
Not how blind Lao. You want to defeat them, you're going to need my specialty. I need 3 ingredients: ghost pepper, the egg of an albino hen, and antifreeze.
The good stuff.
Good stuff, not that.
Also, I should probably mention, if some guy ever tells you to drink a ghost pepper, a hen egg, and antifreeze, probably don't do it.
Yeah, do not.
I don't think that's a good recipe in real life.
We'll have a good follow-up conversation about the potential danger of drinking antifreeze of that guy in a little bit. But yeah, as you can see, this car's much slower than the car that I just had. As I said, also his car is pretty good. Typical Sleeping Dogs to just throw up something I have never seen again.
I swear to God, that game breaks every single time it gets ran.
Yeah.
I think every time I've done like the main game runs, it's broken in a new way every time. Something new has happened.
Yeah, one of the ways that I describe this game, I'm gonna get out over here, is that this game is massively volatile. Ed can again very much attest to this, in that things can just break. Things can just
A wall just
go wrong.
spawned in. I didn't even like show up that time.
I've literally never seen that before. Sleeping Dogs is wonderful. Like, this is not us complaining about it. It's very funny when it happens in, you know, 3 hours into a 3.5-hour run. But it is a wonderful thing. Like, anyway, this is where our ghost pepper is. So, they're supposed to stop us from getting it. But, I'm just gonna leave. Bye. Yep. So, now we need the egg and albino hen. And thankfully, that's just outside. And thankfully, this bit's gonna spawn in a really fast car. It may explode. Hopefully not. This DLC likes to make cars explode. That's it on the right-hand side there. But yeah, this DLC loves to make things explode. So one of the nice things, again, about this being the DLC is that the game gives you every single upgrade from the start, which means we also have access to another attack that we don't get in the main speedrun, or the main any percent speedrun, which is the ability to run and attack people with a weapon. It does a lot of damage. A lot of damage. That's why we need the tire iron. Please, car, do not explode. I kind of need you to not explode right now.
I think there are ghosts. These guys are still just tagging this guy's shop.
Yup.
The living dead have come.
Yeah, and also, as you probably noticed there, they talked about the 18k. The 18k are your main bad guys in the main story. Again, don't worry about that. So, literally, it's just, they're also, for some reason, after this ancient Chinese magic, even though they, you know, are also working with the spirits.
Nobody making offerings. Never used to take that shit seriously. Turns out, it matters, man. It really matters.
All right, I'm sorry. Okay?
Once again, go a bit more Carfu. Just hit as many people as we can. Ideally, the large guy, because he has more HP and needs, you know, a little bit more of a attack than the others. And then I'm going to spawn in some spirits, so every so often I'm just going to get some speed. What matters is the speed that you have, not the distance. So I'm obviously, like, moving back as far as I can to get a little bit of speed so I can, like, take care of multiple of them. If I ram into the barrels like this, I'll just, you know, reverse like this. And the ram also does work, as you can see. One more should spawn in, I think. Are you the last one? No, the other one is still alive. So we'll spin, and this should be the last one. Cool. And then we can go and get the anti-freeze. Again, presumably the good stuff. Sure. Sure. We can go back and make Chinese medicine.
Probably mention this as well because it comes up in the main game, like as a part of the tutorial. But you know, since we're in the like a late game DLC, basically, Wei Shen has the power to ram in any I guess 3 directions with a car.
Yup.
So we can just like jolt left, right. It's just be like a part of the car combat, but it works pretty well with the fights here.
Yep. It's very good, but also very hard to control. It's based on where your camera is positioned.
Most Chinese magic based on antifreeze. Trust me, this will work. Jiangxi will be at your mercy. If you think maybe you're going blind, see a doctor, but only after defeating Jiangxi.
Cool, thanks, dude. So we get this new meter. This replaces the normal face meter from the main game. As you can see, it's draining down now. There's no way to stop it here. But when we defeat the Jiangxi, it's going to start filling up again.
Hey, wait, you got any noodles? I could really go for some noodles.
Same. I'm not gonna lie.
I actually haven't eaten. Maybe I'll get noodles. I'm not gonna lie. They keep talking about noodles. Awesome.
Yup.
Was that motorcyclist a ghost?
Vincent's role is to just basically move the plot along and talk about food. So once again, we go back into Susan's restaurant and we just go out the back. So when we start this fight, I'm going to be restarting from checkpoint. Oh yeah, sometimes the audio doubles up and breaks. Don't worry about it. When it comes to restarting from checkpoint, there are several different reasons why we actually do this in the main any percent. One of those can be to talk to an NPC. In this case, it's to make it so these enemies spawn in a bit faster. Because my crowbar has a little less damage on it than I would like, I'm just going to use that normally. And then we just want to take care of the rest of the enemy, which we're going to use this move called Surprise Exchange. We use this in the main story as well. Unfortunately, I ran out of time on my juice. So we're just going to have to, obviously, take care of the zombies. But once this is done, that'll be the end of the long-delayed second mission. Cool. Now I'm just going to leave. now the door opens.
I just want to mention that after this, after he gave you the medicine, you know, he told you, oh, you gotta save the town. He still charged you money for it.
Yes. Yes. What we need is a taxi, which that's just pure RNG. Oh, hey.
Oh, yeah. There it is.
Love it. Now, before we take this taxi, we're going to fail to jump over the car. We're going to grab the tire iron from the boot of this car, and we are going to taxi to our next mission. And whilst everything's exploding all around us, we should probably hurry up a little bit. Now, sometimes when taxis spawn in, they can go very, very far away and take ages to actually get to where they need to be. For the start of this fight, there's a couple of enemies here that have larger HP bars. We're going to ignore them. But we're also going to go after a guy here that has a knife, because I would rather he went down. I would like you to stop hitting me. Thank you. That missed. That's not great for me.
Like 2 feet away, too.
What happens? I'm sure you're aware of the melee weapons hitting you.
Yes. For anyone who does not know, in Sleeping Dogs, throwing melee weapons is absurdly powerful. We're not sure why. But in addition to being absurdly powerful, if it somehow manages to hit you while in midair, it will basically kill you.
I just break my knife. Yeah, it did. I needed that.
And it's really bad, especially with tire irons and like any kind of like crowbar type of weapon.
Yeah. Yeah, so in certain situations, I'm going to need some weapons. I really needed that knife, unfortunately, so we're not going to be able to use that for the start of this next bit, but whatever. So, once again, we are supposed to drive after this person, this 18k leader right here. But again, the nice thing is with Sleeping Dogs, if you know where you're going, you can just ignore that. You can just go to the end point. So, we're going to go to an area that we like to call Gun Tutorial. Because in the any %, it's where you get tutorialized on how to use guns. It's a nice, easy way to remember, I just need to go in here. Which usually, if gun tutorial, you go in there. I'm going over here. So, Old Salty's actually... I don't know what exploded. Old Salty's teaching us on how to actually kill the Jiangshi. Unfortunately, I didn't get that grab in time. You cannot grab enemies that have a weapon. So you got to be careful. You also can't grab the large lads. That guy. Again, Wei just decided to do that on his own. I was not aiming at that guy, but sure. Happens sometimes. We can also use the knife. I would like to use the knife on this guy, specifically. That way he will just go down a little bit quicker. I do not know what is happening over there right now. So again, running strong's pretty good. Now we get tutorialized on a new way to deal with the Jiangshi, which is these portals, these energy sources. So we're going to grab them and throw them in the energy portals, and that's going to give us access to a new weapon, which is very overpowered. Now, the downside about grabbing them, as you'll see, pretty much every other grab is going to lead to them countering you, which you can counter them again, grab them, throw them in the portal.
I think they also
when 3 of them go in the portal, we get the weapon. What was that, sorry, Yak?
I think they bite you. I think I can't remember entirely correct. I could be wrong, but I think they're...
Yes, they do.
Like, it's weird because they're zombies, but I think they're closer to vampires.
Yep. You can also throw them in the barrel like that. It is a thing. So the sword is over there. You can see it like kind of standing up. I'm going to be waiting until I've got that for the next guy. So the Yaogwai are the big ones, which you can see them over there. The nice thing about that is you can actually take care of them in one hit with the sword if you do a grab attack, which is great. So in an ideal way, everyone will kind of sit together so I can get multiple hits. If not, let's do this. Probably uses it up. Yeah, it does, unfortunately. So I'll just kill the last guy normally, and that's that mission as well. Cool. Not too bad. Right, so provided it doesn't explode.
Also, yes, for Twitch chats, the main character is punching the zombies in the neck to stun them, and then I think he's, like, draining their life force somehow.
Yeah, he puts a talisman on them. You can barely see it on their heads when we do the thing. We're going to do a thing here, a little bit of speed tech, called taxi storage. We do this a lot in the main any %. It's going to store a taxi for the end of the mission that we're about to do. Now, the downside, again, is I need to find a taxi. That looked like a taxi, but it wasn't. It's a little bit easier to find taxis when you go towards the center of town, and also the fact that, you know, we're going towards the objective. In the extremely rare case, I see one, thankfully, that we don't get a taxi. So, I'm just going to get out. It's a lot better to try and get the taxi from the side where the driver is not. So, when the taxi stops, lets us out, we're going to immediately run here so he doesn't run away, and then hopefully do this attack, and that knocks out the driver. So by knocking out the driver, that's going to stall this taxi through the next set of cutscenes, or in this case, this mission. Now, we're going to meet an old friend from the Any % who goes by the name of Johnny the Ratface. I am not a fan of Johnny the Ratface. He ruins runs very easily. But he is back, quotation marks. You can get a gun in this bit, but unsurprisingly, guns don't work on Chinese spirits. It is much better to use our fists.
I like how cars can work on them, but not guns.
Yep. I'm assuming it's physical objects, even though, you know, bullets are technically physical. But yeah, once again, if you know where to go, you don't have to wait for, obviously, the flaming Chinese spirit to run over here. We can just go here. And we can be situated right next to the energy portal for our Jiangshi. So again, first one we are able to grab, next one's going to break out. It's a nice, easy way to remember. It's just usually the next one after the one that you've obviously grabbed. The sword's going to come down here, and we are going to use it. We're going to use it on Johnny right away. If I don't miss. No, my way sometimes counters, but there you go. And at this point, we're just going to take care of the rest of the zombies.
Ah, the cars are blessed, that's why.
True. Very true. Alright, so I'm going to take Johnny's knife, and hey, look, there's our taxi. And you'll see as we get closer, because we're not... Wait. How did...
Is that 3 taxis?
So, sometimes the game clones vehicles. Don't worry about it.
Also, I just want to note that it said rewards, more demons have spawned.
Yeah, that happens. And hell portals, apparently. I didn't realize this was Doom.
It's a reward as well.
It's so weird, because you have so many, like, random civilians that want to fight, and then just, here's more demons. Speaking of more demons, here's a cop. I missed this guy somehow. Okay, so you do not get to take my knife. I need this knife. So again, more Kafu. These guys are just normal. You can see they don't have the glowing eyes. They're not actually possessed by demons or anything. And then as soon as they're dealt with, we're going to follow Dog Eyes. Dog Eyes was someone else we dealt with in the main any % story. You know the drill. Ignore him. Very rude. So I'm just going to throw that knife over there, and then we're going to grab Jiangshi, and once again, throw them in the portal. Again, if you hold on to them for too long, they will break out and just either counter you or, obviously, you know, get away like that. You also need to be very careful of this bit, because again, ideally, I would like to take a weapon into this next bit. Which sometimes, yeah, a sword doesn't spawn in, which if it doesn't spawn in, let's have to do it the old-fashioned way. Isn't too bad. That's why that knife is there. Okay, again, wait, thanks, appreciate it.
You're like chopping them in the neck.
Yes. So, find Dog Eyes. As we're opening this, I'm going to restart from checkpoint. That's going to keep us here, but allow us to move a bit faster. And have all the enemies in front of us. I don't know if I can kill the big Jiangshi with this knife. We're going to find out. That looks like a big fat no, so we're just going to do the old-fashioned running strong. No, you're not even going to let me do this. Okay, I'm putting that down, and then we'll use it as soon as everyone's dealt with. Ideally, you would bring a sword during this bit, but my sword broke against Johnny, so... But as soon as we... Oh, massive flashing light warning for the end of this fight, by the way. I'll give it another warning when we're a little closer to it, but yeah. Flashing light warning for sure. Now, I can just take care of you. It's a little bit longer. There we go. So, when I deal with Dog Eyes, that's when flashing light warning. Because we're actually going to deal with him by throwing him into that over there. You over here? I really need you to come over here, bud. Because the trouble is, after this, I need to get his cleaver, so I need him a bit closer to over here. Thank you. Now, thankfully, he has a corporeal form, so I can actually, you know, take him out. You're supposed to throw him, again, into the furnace. I'm going to have to wait for the counter. Try and push him a bit more towards where I need to go. You're supposed to use the furnace. We're not going to use the furnace because there is something that goes a lot quicker. Once again, flashing light warning. It's going to use the electrical box.
Look at this. It burns. Burn up here, burn down there.
As long as we get the cleaver before the end of the mission, all good. Okay. One of the things that we do in the any percent as well is if we're nowhere near our objective and we obviously have no way to get to an actual taxi, we can load our last checkpoint, because after every mission the game saves the autosave, and when you load the autosave you actually get put to your closest hideout towards where you need to go. If you look at the minimap, That's right next to where we need to go, which is Club Bam Bam. So we're going to steal this random person's moped and just go over to the club. Again, random Jiangxi will just pop up where we go as well. It's fine. You just ignore them. For this bit, I'm going to do this a little bit slower because this conversation can break, and if it does, which it certainly looks like it has. Yep. Oh, I can't restart my mission. I might have to cancel and just reload again. Because you need the, you need the conversation to go off to be able to actually progress this. And if the conversation doesn't go off, then you'll just softlock like that. 2 softlocks in 1 run. Pretty good.
What a run.
Yeah, I'll say. That one has happened before. I have had that one happen before. I think what happened was the way that I dismounted the moped caused this happen. But yeah, you just need to be a little bit careful with some of these trigger submissions and stuff, because just it can break. So, we'll stand over here. That should work. Yeah, there you go. See how the dialogue instantly started this time? I think it's because I was on the floor instead of in the middle of the air. I don't know what's going on to my right. Again, some people are having a fight. Happens a lot in this DLC. So, unfortunately, the cleaver isn't as good as, obviously, the bamboo sword or anything like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to use it on one enemy. And ideally, I'm going to move away from this spot right here, because this spot, unfortunately, has a little bit of a tendency as that's where the sword spawns, and it has a tendency to break. So I'm going to make sure that I'm not standing near it so that it doesn't break when it spawns in, because I need it for this mission. There it is. If basically you have an enemy next to it, then it will break, or if you're on top of it when it spawns in, it will break. So we just need this, so we're just going to make sure that doesn't happen. Got the sword here. The nice thing is, because this is the DLC and we have the extra skills, we can just grab these folks that you normally wouldn't be able to in the main story. Things are very fast to deal with enemies in the bathroom. This we do in the 80% as well. And we're going to go up to the VIP room, and the reason why we're holding this sword will become apparent very, very fast. We're dealing with a guy called Ponytail, who is also someone we deal with in the main story as well. And hey, look who's turned up. Again, as you already know, if we have a sword, we can take care of these guys in one grab attack. Nice and simple, nice and easy. Hi, Ponytail. Not the move I wanted to do. I'm going to have to wait for him to stand up. There we go. Deal the Jiangxi with the sword. We do not need this sword to survive. Thankfully, normal humans go down in one charge attack. Very, very nice. You can also use the table to jump over at them and kick them that way. With that, off we go. So the important thing is you don't die during that mission. Because if you have to restart from checkpoint, this moped despawns. So you won't have a vehicle as soon as you come out. And then this is the last mission. One final showdown. It's a very succinct speedrun, both of Sleeping Dogs DLCs. This one's about 30 minutes long when, things don't break. The Year of the Snake is less than an hour. So both of them are quite short. The main actual speedrun has just broken the sub-3 barrier, which is really, really good. I don't know why it's asking me to hit left mouse button, because no. Let me go into this bit. So we're going to have one big final kind of battle arena.
This is what revenge looks like, Shen.
So gonna drop our first sword. That's gonna be useful during this fight. We're gonna be careful. I wanted this guy to run forward because you can actually throw him into the pot of water there, which doesn't help. So again, every other one usually bites you. This one's a bit finicky because there's just many bits around here that can, you can finish enemies off with, which we can do in a second. We can grab one of these enemies here. We have our actual powers right now. Just throw him in the pot of water. Probably holy water, if I had to guess. Gotta do this to finish this guy up a little bit quicker. There you go.
You can just step on him.
Yep. Yep, I still have my power, so it's fine. So, this guy's gonna now take command of the bodies of, several monks for a couple of waves. So, we're gonna use the swords in this bit. I'm gonna grab one of the two. Counter. 1, 2, 3. Hold left mouse button. That's the fight. Gonna drop the sword right here. This is exactly where we want it. Probably not gonna get to the energy source with this guy, as you can see, but we can get him a bit closer. Get a counter. Throw him in here. And then one more. And that gets our next sword, which we will be using that sword actually immediately because we still have the other sword. Well, actually, I'm doing pretty good with my things. So I'll hold off for that for now. We'll do it for the last one. Okay, I don't know when my count's not coming out, but sure. Actually, we'll use it for these two. Fine. Yeah, it should be 2 charges with the sword. And then we have the sword in our hand for the last monk phase. And then the rest of our swords are all lined up right here, which is very good. So again, 1, 2, 3. Hold left mouse button. Lovely job. So, defeat the Agui. You. Oh, nice. Didn't get the counter off. Gonna use one of our swords. That's the one we brought with us. So we're gonna leave the other one on the floor for now because we don't want to. We want that for obviously old Smiley. You can fight Smiley because he has a corporeal form, but it's a little faster with the sword if you have one. Shame I didn't actually manage to get you, but that'll be fine. We'll stomp you a couple of times. It'd actually be on top. Actually, let me grab the sword first, then a lot faster. Running strong. Time will be in now. That's time. That's time. It's a little anticlimactic because he just kind of goes down. If you use the sword, there's not any slowdown at the end. So yeah. But that's the Nightmare in North Point. The ending is very, very quick here, actually. We're gonna expel good old Smiley Cat and banish him from this world or something like that. Was I T-posing? Was I just T-posing in that cutscene? Yeah. I think the cutscene broke somehow. Nice.
Also, if I remember right, I think the ending is a reference to, like, a Thriller.
Yeah? You'll see in a second. This ending only lasts like 30 more seconds.
Yeah.
Shall we finish that date?
We did it. We defeated the evil, right?
Yeah, it's the reference to the Thriller music video, Michael Jackson. It's the same ending.
Yep. that's Nightmare at North Point. It just shoves you back out in the world where, you know, people will start to come over, start to try and punch me, and cars will explode again. But yeah, I mean, this is Sleeping Dogs. It's great. It really is.
Yeah. All right, really quick. Before we hop to our next run, Froom, if anyone wanted to find you, where can they find you?
Twitch.tv/Froob. Most people know me for speedrunning the Yakuza Like a Dragon series, but I also do Sleeping Dogs. It was actually X's idea for me to run Sleeping Dogs originally like 2-3 years ago at this point. So
I think it's a cool game.
So thanks to Ek for convincing me to get into this absolutely cursed speedrun.
Yeah, no, it's been a rough one at times.
It really is.
Absolutely. But yes, if you did enjoy the run Froob did here, you can find the channel in Twitch chat, twitch.tv/Froob. A lot of fun variety of games, including Yakuza Sleeping Dogs, and some RPGs as well, and some oddities. Tokyo Jungle.
Yep. Great game.
Yeah, thank you once again. We do have more runs for you coming up. I hope you all enjoy this run of Sleeping Dogs. I'll be setting up the next runs. We will be right back. All right, everyone, welcome back from the break. Hope you all enjoyed that run of Sleeping Dogs Nightmare on North Point. It's a pretty cool game, and I am glad that there's a little bit of horror in that game that we can have on the show, because I've been looking for an excuse to have that run on here. Anyway, speaking of cool runs, the next run is going to be a favorite all around. I think everyone likes this game, or at least watching it. It's pretty tight if you've never seen it. Very, very fast, very high action. It's going to be a fun one to watch, and I hope you enjoy it. And I believe speedrun history was made with this game fairly recently, and he'll tell you all about it. Anyway, here's Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, all bosses, featuring Bobby. Take it away.
Yep, that's me. Hello, everybody. My name is Bobby. I like playing Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. In the interest of time, we'll talk a little bit about the game as we get into the game. I'm using Zangetsu. We'll get you out of here in about 30 minutes or less. Then time will be whenever I press any key. So let's count us down on 3, 2, 1, go. Hello, everybody. Yes, this is Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, and as you can see, we are starting out the speedrun in very zippy and speedy fashion. This is Zangetsu. He's an extra character. He's not Miriam. He's not the main character, but he's one of many extra characters that you can play in the game, and he comes with a pretty powerful, unique arsenal of various attacks and movement techniques. And we'll be seeing that throughout the game, but it's all bosses. You'll be seeing a lot of the scenic route. This game is incredibly pretty, and we'll talk a little bit about you know, the bosses, the influences, and what have you. But this guy is fast. I mean, he has a slide, he has a double jump. He pretty much has like a movement kit right from the jump that'll get him to wherever he needs. He's not a relic collector. He is not anything of that. He is a man of no materials. He just needs his Zangetsu, and then he gets to go. We're already at the end of Gallium Minerva, which is kind of like our beginning tutorial segment. We're gonna go to our first boss, Vepar. We're gonna lay into him with a down attack. Our special attacks are super crucial throughout the game. We'll talk a little bit about that as we zip on through. You're seeing me do these special attacks for powerful damage and movement, and they are really heavy in the MP cost. So we're gonna have to take a couple of pit stops, get a couple of MP ups along the way so that we can adequately move and schmove throughout this land. Now, first we're gonna go through our first zoomie. You know the whole wee thing from SGDQ. That was a really good meme. It's back, baby. Now we are into the castle. So how am I sliding? How am I chaining these slides? I'm actually doing a pretty precise a chain of sliding and canceling the recovery of that slide with a backdash, and then you can actually cancel that backdash into a slide again. That's how we're able to zip. That's how we're able to slide, and that's how we're able to get through this very quickly. It is the main method of movement for Zangetsu. It is free in MP, so you'll be seeing it a lot. And like fun fact, even though he has the white pants, they never get scuffed. He is super clean with it. But who is not super clean with it? This imposter. We're gonna lay into him real quick with a couple special attacks and zip out of there in really nice fashion. He has a couple of special moves like you would have in a fighting game. They're actually like kind of like notated as such, like quarter circle forwards, back forward backs, and whatnot. So this is actually pretty coincidental that I'm playing this on a fight stick, or rather an all button controller known as a like hitbox, or you know, I have a couple of junk food snack box arcades. I know Igdices has one. They're pretty nice. You know, yeah, they're pretty nice all button controllers for 2D action platformers, even like games with tank controls. I used that to speedrun the PC version of Resident Evil about a couple of months ago. It's a really great result. All right, that was craft work. As Miriam, you would like get really nice power-ups or these shard abilities from these bosses, but we actually just get experience, and that's actually how we get powerful throughout the game. It's a Metroidvania, but also a little bit of an action RPG. Every boss that we beat, every enemy that we fell, we get a little bit of XP, we get a little bit stronger. Our HP and our MP are maxed out a little bit higher, and that will enable us to continue to lay on their hurt for even the end game bosses who are spongy on NHP. And speaking of that, we're gonna be coming on up to one of the RNG intensive bosses of this game, Bloodless. It's a little bit tricky. I'll try to explain it as we go into her fight. So if we deplete her HP quickly enough, we can try to trigger her Bloodsteal. Well, this is a pretty bad attack, but we did get the HP threshold requisite. She does have Bloodsteal. In earlier patches of this game, you could actually like kind of skip this Bloodsteal and actually like cut it short by not, you know, being on the far side of the room opposite to where she is, and that cut down on a lot of time. I'm playing on the current patch of this version because it's I don't know, it's more stable. I feel like it's more stable. This game was a lot prone to crashing. You know, I don't know if you got to thank UE4 for that or whatever. but I would rather take the consistency rather than, you know, speed and then possibly crashing. But anyways, we're at the end of the game. Not really, but this is kind of like a pivotal fight. And the cool thing about the all bosses category for Zangetsu is that, like, we can kind of take these bosses on out of order. So, like, you know, like the quicker we do so, the closer they are, the quicker we'll be able to take them down in precise fashion. We're gonna go wee. That's our second wee of the game. Don't worry, there will be more wees to be had. And we're gonna go 0-2 in the Millionaire's room. So this is actually, oh god, I forgot. Oh wait, hold on. I need a special element for this boss. Okay, let's get back to business. Let's get back to brass tacks here. So the kind of iffy thing about the Millionaire's Bane, this boss that we're doing, it's an endgame boss. It's kind of like a secret boss, but also it reacts positively or negatively to whatever status ailment you attack it with. The ice element is the element that we're using right here, and that's the only one where he kind of doesn't really react negatively. So we're able to, you know, do our rinse, lather, repeat thing. If we were to hit it with any other element, he would actually turn into a slot, like a mini game slot, little gotcha, and he'll be invincible, unhittable. That is just a bad thing. But this is the only kind of use for the ice, so we're gonna switch back to electricity. Electricity is way cool, especially for the bosses that are kind of susceptible to it. So that's a big dragon, and I mean that's pretty much it. That's a big dragon. We're gonna rinse, lather, repeat, and the multiple ticks of the lightning will just be inside of that dragon's huge hitbox. He'll take a lot of damage, and he will go down in no time flat. That Medusa head tried to got me. That second Medusa head and a third Medusa head, they're really trying to get me at 12 o'clock in the morning. Oh my lord. But anyways, this is Speedruns from the Crypt, and I would rather not to you know, take another step further into my grave. That'll probably be reserved for the later game when I get singed or, you know, drowned in lava, but hopefully we won't get to do that. Coming up next is Andrail Fist, and hopefully we can kind of put this electricity to use. So we already got a really nice stagger there, some really nice multiple instances of hitting, and that's what the lightning element does. It'll tick for lesser amount of damage, but for more instances, more ticks of that damage over time. And what happens with kind of like the earlier bosses and even more humanoid enemies is that they're more susceptible to being staggered out of their moves if you hit them more often, which is why the lightning element is really great for that. So not only do you get that for the weakness, but even for just staggering folks out of their major attacks or combos, it's really useful. Especially later on, probably in about like 5 minutes or so. But we have a little bit of chill time here. This would be a good time for donations as we go toward the Tower of Twin Dragons. But I just want to know how you folks are feeling, whether you're watching this on a live broadcast or watching this on our YouTube archives. Let us know in the comments or in the chat how you are feeling. It is in the night, but I hope you folks are staying cool and cozy. And we also have another run coming up right after this, which is why I'm trying to. Oh yeah, that's right. Dices, do your job.
I'll do mine. Don't you worry. I got like not donation. We got the announcements. It's funny because these runs have been going so good. I haven't had a lot of time to read these. But anyway, Flame Fatales 2026 will be live September 13th through the 19th. If you want to volunteer for the event, all creators can apply to become an ambassador, and community members can submit to volunteer during the event by July 19th. You can visit gdq.gg/ff for more info. So, Bobby, who's this chap?
Oh yeah, these are two chaps. These are the twin dragons. So that's a dragon and that's another dragon. And these, well, the fight's pretty much over. I think I've inflicted enough damage in order to fell this foe once we're done with our whole auto scroller thing. So they have 4,000 HP on normal, I believe. And we have to go through a little bit of these movements, you know, go down the spire, if you will. And we'll do this twice throughout the fight. And once we're done with the second one, then we can inflict the final blow. But let's do a little bit of aura farming real quick. As they try to let loose their ultimate, they'll kiss. Happy Pride. Pride is not over since it is the end of June. Pride is forever. And we'll go through the second auto scroller kind of like movement phase thing. And I see Pleasantly Twisted in the chat saying that I'm a retired speedrunner. I am not a retired speedrunner. I'm retired from GDQ submissions because I like to give other people, the shine, especially with all of the great groups, all the great groups of GDQ that have been pervading the games list as of lately. I'm talking about the Fatals. I'm talking about the Black and a Flash crew. I'm talking about the non-binary crew. I'm talking about the queer crew. Everyone deserves their shot. I've had my time in the limelight. All right, so they're down, and we still are kind of late, so we got to catch a train real quick. So we're gonna go from the Garden of Silence into another area, the Bridge of Evil. We'll slide past these folks. Say hi to the puppy head real quick. Everyone loves puppy.
Oh yeah, so also the last GDQ that just happened, how did you feel? I think this time around you're doing more of the prizes, yeah?
Oh yeah, I am a prize guy. I am a prize guy, and through SGDQ 2026, we had a lot of great prizes. We had a lot of really great skits. I love my team. Like, it's not just me. It's my folks that had concocted all these great segments, and were able to deliver like all the calls to action just so very professionally and eloquently.
And did you have a favorite prize? I know I saw you holding that guitar a few times.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That Navon guitar from Orbital Guitars is the brand name, but you know them as Lifelike, and he did really did really well on the guitar, but also did really well in his silly block performance of Siberia at SGDQ 2026. Like there was just so much that happened there, so many vibes. Like, you had to have been there. But also, if you couldn't be there, if you couldn't watch everything live, we do have, again, that nice GDQ VOD playlist, even with all the interstitials, so you can watch them in order and everything. So it's kind of like you're there. Oh, I'm poisoned. That could be bad. I don't know if that's bad or not. I don't know if that's bad or not. This is Bothan. I switched to the electricity just for a little bit of safety. Hopefully we can stagger him out of his opener. Okay, we staggered him out of his opener, and we keep staggering him, and that's so nice. So there's a bit of a riskier strat with using the fire element. Fire element hits for a bit of more of raw damage. But again, if you want to kind of like effectively stun lock, especially the early bosses, you definitely want to be going the lightning element. Doing a little bit of backtracking here because, I mean, this is a Metroidvania. We kind of had to, do some things to unlock some other things. So the prerequisite of unlocking the underground is still a thing from if you defeat Bloodless. But obviously this is all bosses, so we kind of have to take a little bit of a scenic route, felling all other foes before descending into the forbidden underwater way. I hate this because there's a lot of uneven ground here, a lot of bats and frogs, a lot of like Castlevania-esque enemies that will impede your path. But we're still descending down here. We'll actually do a little bit of a fast fall technology. I'm canceling an upward slash with our downward slash, and it results in a little bit of like a fast fall, kind of like in Smash Brothers. And then just oh my god, this is the second time that I got stuck in that gate by going way too fast. But that's fine. Here's a secret sorcery lab. We're gonna try to do a very risky skip here. There we go. Woo! Okay, all right, first try. If you were to be hit by any of those those guillotines, you would take some grievous damage. That would not be great. And again, the humanoid enemies are just being laid waste by this electricity, just being takes for multiple instances of damage, getting hit in that stun lock, and we're able to fell this imposter, this doppelganger Miriam. We go a little bit more speedier through these guillotines, through these stage hazards, go a little bit hop happy. didn't really talk about our methods of resource management here, especially with the MP. I have been abusing the dive kick a lot. If you whiff a dive kick, you'll gain 5 MP. If you hit an enemy or an object with a dive kick, you'll gain 10 MP. That's incredibly crucial, especially when we have very few pit stops that we got to go through. This is the Inferno Cave. This is where most runs die. We slide across lava. We try to retain that invincibility that we get from our slide and our dashes. And if we drop a single second of them, then we will be burnt to an absolute crisp, and that will not be great. We're going to take a little bit of a pit stop here before Auto Boss. We kind of want all of our MP, not only for burning down this boss's HP, but escaping the Inferno Cave afterwards. Let's see what opener he's got. He jumps back. I'm going to jump forward with him, and hopefully he stays on the ground. Hopefully we don't have to paint the fence. He does stay on the ground. I'm not ready for it. Try to jump in after him, and that's fine as long as he's on the ground. If he inverts into the air, that's a little bit of a bad thing for us, because we have to wait until his skeleton falls to the ground in order for the boss door to be opened back up to us. It takes a little bit of time. But we have an adequate amount of MP to do our little cavern escape. So here we are, and we're making some pretty good time here. You guys are gonna get to be able to see Manhunt in no time flat. Then I cannot
that reminds
wait.
me as well. So I was saying earlier today, I heard someone while preparing for this run got a couple of world records in the category.
Oh yeah, that's right. So we kind of went pretty hard with this game, practicing for the GDQ Hotfix. It wasn't really my intention to come back to Ritual of the Night all bosses, because I wanted to do some like other stuff. But fellow Odysseus was like, "Hey, Bobby," and I'm like, "All right, I got you." So so here we were, and we were adhering to some of the new speedrun rules that one of the super moderators, Loner Hero, had put in place, like the 120 frame cap, and apparently setting your your frames to 120 makes this game incredibly fluid and consistent. Oh my lord, here comes why Alfred. He's gonna run away, he's gonna teleport away. This is, like, again, one of the worst RNG intensive bosses in the game. He will just run around. He'll just waste a lot of time. Up there goes another teleport dash again. Does anyone know what leverless Bobby is using? I am using, for now, I'm using my junk food snack box micro. I would be using a bit more of a heavy, more durable stick, just because I'm at home. But really like the snack box micros. They are a little bit. They are a lot portable. I'm poisoned again? I'm poisoned again. So, usually Zangetsu has a pretty high resistance to being inflicted with status ailments. And there are quite a few, significant status ailments, like slow, obviously poison. You could be petrified and things like that. Zangetsu has a naturally high resistance to all that, but I have just been getting poisoned left and right. But anyways, we go a little bit of whirly bird. We saw our second Wii, and we are going into the Oriental Sorcery Lab, where we got to do a little bit of cleanup, not only for another secret boss, but someone out there is donning my coat. Someone out there is swinging my sword, using my name, and it's not me. So we gotta put that to rest real quick. Say hi to the kitty. We'll dig into this wall for an MP max up for a little bit of a refill, and here comes the Master Carpenter. He's gonna try to walk us down, and I hate that. I hate it when bosses are mobile, especially when I'm just trying to burn them with our fire slashes here. I am trying to stop his movement by parrying before I do another special attack, and it kind of works, and it's also really good for MP resource management. Say hi to the kitty again. Try to do a really nice, really quick, tight teleport off of that. broken pillar. Drop a dash so we can waste a couple of minutes. That's fine. And we're gonna take another pit stop because again, like this is the end game. This is where bosses are incredibly tanky with HP. Here goes the other imposter. Now, if everything goes right, he should not be able to hit us at all. He's just gonna be trying to swap through the elements. There we go. He goes to the lightning. Then he's gonna go to the ice element. That's a little bit annoying. Him moving, but that's fine. And as you can see, we are very, very, very low on MP, but we still need every little bit that we can get for the movement out of this place. So we're gonna keep sliding. Say hi to the kitty again. Just gonna try to break these candelabras. We do gain some MP over time. Do a little quick drop right here. We'll go back to the entrance. This is our last time we'll be teleporting back to the entrance. Go past these folks. Now we're going to be opening up the end game pretty much, but we're not going to go there quite yet. There is another secret boss that we got to go toward. So another couple of Akuma teleports, and we're going to slice this moon right on open. And you're like, wow, he killed the moon. That wasn't the moon. That was a fake moon. That was Gremory from Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. We'll talk about that a little bit. I do love Curse of the Moon, though. That's kind of like the successor to Castlevania 3, like the retro classic NES Castlevanias. This is more, you know,
It's a tight run.
Symphony of the Night proper. It is a really tight run. All right, here comes Byman Selmont. Speaking of classic Castlevania, unfortunately, I cannot parry him. He's very undead, and thankfully he's not moving. Up now he's moving. Now you see that little stunted walk he does. Now, I mean, okay, all right. That was actually a pretty decent fight, all things considered. All right, and now we're gonna go into the moon. I gotta skip my split. Oh no, that's fine. And now we're in the Den of Behemoths, aka Tiny Huge Island from Super Mario 64 tasks. All the enemies are super huge. We are super small. We are super small. We'll go past this dragon. Then I cannot do the slide dash canceling that we can do thin platform, so I do have to do a little Akuma teleport there. And it'll be a little bit of a kind of a gradual descent from here on out. We're gonna be fighting one of my favorite bosses in the game. In the any percent of Zangetsu, you actually do not fight him at all. You actually get to skip this boss if you play on an earlier patch. But this is all bosses. We'll pay him a visit. This is Veilfor, also from Curse of the Moon. And we're gonna be doing some painting the fences. We're gonna be going our A Groove CVS2 action. Oh, I do love it. Oh, he's on the ground, and we get a little bit of that in. And now we're into phase 2. So how phase 2 works is that he'll actually clean out all of your money. Basically, all the money that you've obtained through the game to this point, he will take and add it to his HP reserves. But we only have about like 25 cents to our name, so that doesn't really matter. Coincidentally, if you play as the crossover character from Child of Light, Aurora, you actually collect no money from her at all. So when you do fight Veilfor and go into his phase 2, he'll actually die immediately because you're flat broke. It's actually really funny. There's a special voice line and everything. Like it's just glorious. How are you gonna take money from a girl anyway? You're so heartless.
Well, he tried. He just didn't have any money.
All right, we're in the tomb right now. This is where things would come to an end if we were playing any other character, but there's a little bit of something extra for Zangetsu, and also there's another extra boss that we need to fell before any of that. But we are going to pay a visit to our Curse of the Moon antagonist, Gremory, and see if, oh no, she'll actually give us the bad pattern, the bad opener, so we'll actually be forced into her phase 2. And we're gonna paint the fences again. So the lore is they are like the demons of the night are weak against the Zangetsu, which is the weapon that we're wielding right now, which is why you're seeing all of those criticals. Like it's no bug, it's no glitch. This is just basically plot armor, plot weaponry. You know what I mean. Got a couple more bosses. We'll keep zipping on, sliding through, and all that. We'll make one last pit stop before fighting Dominique. And then another kind of like fighting game will begin. So we're going to try to stay as close to her as possible. We got some nice big critties on her. She'll try to do the EX elbow, which can actually cross us up. So we have to stay in an adequate distance in order for that to not hit us. Oh, that was so good. And also we get rewarded by gaining a little bit of MP while we successfully parry. That's so good. But now we're in the phase 2, and now we're in a little bit of a die roll. So we have a 1 in 3 chance of a good pattern, basically. So Bale is a amalgamation of 3 heads, and Dominique will appear in one of those 3 heads, and that will be the one that you need to attack in order to cut down that boss bar. So we have the cat head. It's a little bit unfavorable, but we'll make it work. Again, we'll do some rising slashes, all while trying to keep stocked up of our MP, all while trying to avoid those magical attacks that she keeps slamming and spamming at us. But I mean, like, this will be pretty much it. And Bale would be the final boss for any other character, but again, we still got some things to do, some things to tidy up on. But the cat head just has such a small hurt box. It's just so hard to get all of your hits in from your special moves. But again, this would be time, but it's not time for Zangetsu yet. We got 2 more bosses. Gonna take another refill here, and we are gonna journey back into 30 years in time. Do not adjust your television set. This is the 8-bit nightmare. Some 4x3 goodness right here. And what's not good about this stage is the boss that's coming up. But you know, we got some nice 8-bit like soundtracks, some nice 8-bit like monsters and ghouls and ghosts and goblins. But here comes the true test. We're gonna try to line ourselves up so we can get all hits of our special moves in. All right, and he actually stays. Okay, we just need him to stay and also land on some critties like that. This will big critties like that, and then we'll have a really smooth boss fight. He continues to stay. That's kind of unreal, especially for marathon luck. All right, we got 1 more to go. Now, who could it be, chat? Who do you think the last boss for the Zangetsu mode could be? Wrong answers only. What's up, man?
It's Zangetsu.
Oh, yeah. Zangetsu 3. All right, big stretch. Big stretch. It's Miriam. She has succumbed to the shards. She is fully cursed, and we must put her down, unfortunately. So this goes into 3 phases. They have 4,000 HP in each of those phases, and we need each and every bit of our DPS here. She'll go inverted. She'll actually switch to the great sword, and we need to follow her. We need to stay invincible throughout that Valak as well. Oh, we need to not get singed. We need to not get cooked. I'm actually really low on MP. Uh-oh, this is actually kind of bad. This is kind of bad. Here, I'll do a little bit of head stomping here. Then she's gonna go into Bloodsteel. I'm gonna go just with some parries real quick. Just try to stay topped up on my MP. Parry, rinse, lather, repeat. That's time. Sorry, that's time.
GG.
That was, man, I yapped for like 28 minutes straight. What do you mean? Well, I mean, that's it. That's Bloodstained Ritual tonight. All bosses. That's Zangetsu. I mean, there are a lot of characters to play as with this game. A lot of different modes, even a randomizer mode that people, you know, grind in speedrun fashions. There's extra modes, classic modes. Like, it's just a really great package for, I mean, like, it regularly goes on sale for like 10-20 bucks. So next time you do see that, please make sure to pick it up if you are a Metroidvania enthusiast, or if you just like action RPGs. You know, like, take a little bit of a step outside, you know, your realm, and you might, you know, come to find something really cool like this. But yeah, that's me. I'm Bobby. You've seen me everywhere. But if you really do love the performance, if you do love, I don't know, like my voice, if you love speed runs of really cool games that you don't really see often, feel free to follow me at my social medias, at my Twitch stream and all that. We would love to have you be part of the Black Brigade. And thank you very much, Igdisis and the people at GDQ, for having me for another Hotfix performance. And I really hope that you folks enjoyed.
Absolutely. Thank you for that run. Once again, if you did enjoy the run of Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, you can find the link in Twitch chat, twitch.tv/Bobby. I believe the shout out was also there, so do make sure you check them out if you want a lot of cool games, not just, you know, let's say the Castlevania type games, but also even some Resident Evil stuff every now and again. A lot of fun stuff as well. Good variety. But yeah. We do have one more run for you coming up. It will be in one moment. We'll get that set up. We're going to be right back very quick, so don't go anywhere. We will be right back. All right, everyone. Welcome back to the break. Hopefully you all enjoyed the run of Bloodstained. I've had a lot of fun runs on today. Hopefully you enjoyed them. We've had 3 back-to-back so far. All been really good, and I have one more good one for you for the night. Now this game, this run is honestly a personal favorite. It's really cool. The runner's really cool, and I do hope that you enjoy it. Honestly, this might be unlike any run you've ever seen. Maybe it will be something that you've seen, but you're going to be witnessing the hunting of man with Manhunt any percent with Jay here. Take it away.
Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Jay here. Today I will be running Manhunt any percent out of bounds for you. Now this run, I would say, is extremely wicked and pretty incomprehensible sometimes. So before we begin, I would love to go over some of the strats that I will be using for this run, just so you know everyone is on the loop. So we will be using the out of bounds trick, which allows us to clip through walls by spamming the first person button, as you just saw. I basically can just fly through walls like nothing. And also, I guess we don't have an official name for this, but I'm just gonna call it Void Shenanigans. Basically, we just fly into things. Well, I kind of fumbled it here, but I'll show it again. We basically just fly into the direction of checkpoints in Manhunt, and that triggers the end of level somehow. Look. I'm aiming towards that door up there, as you can see. You just saw a guy pop there. That's the end of level checkpoint. For some reason, the game like flies you under the map and lands you in the last position you were in, and somehow you just beat levels like that. So that's what we will be using for this run. All right.
It looks like this goes on.
These streets are being patrolled by gangs. They're scum. Just like you.
As you can imagine, the run's going to fly by, so kind of having a good grasp of what the run's going to be filled with is going to be pretty good ahead of time. Time will be starting upon first movement, but we get a nice little cutscene to start with, and then Jay will, I guess, tell you all about hunting man.
3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so for this run, there's plenty of little tricks and strats that we're gonna have to perform to like sort of trick the levels into either disabling AI or just working around AI, because they're really, really scary in this game, and they tend to go haywire and just hit every single shot, especially in the shooting levels. These levels, I would say, are pretty chill. Now, the checkpoint for this level is in a vent back here. Now, the thing I do is I slightly clip into this wall and then move my way in there. I'm the only runner that does this, by the way. I've seen other runners use different strats, so I'm the only unique guy that does this. Now, you already saw this. I just basically fly out of bounds and punch. Now, the punch I do when I'm falling out of the map is to gain speed as to reach the checkpoints. What I'm doing here is just basically flying to the end of the level, just like that. That was actually the best time too. 018 is the best time there. These guys are called the Hoods. They are really menacing and really say some really, really mean words. So we're just gonna run away from them and just fly into the void and avoid everybody. Now, I'm gonna do a really complex trick here. I am about to fly into a save in the middle of the level. I need to aim for a really particular location here. If I don't, things go bad. I gotta count down here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press escape at the right time. Save, reload, allowing us to skip a whole lot of area by just flying into the save point. This is really well calculated, although you don't really have to count down. You can easily react to it. We're gonna fly through this fence, just, you know, clipping through it. We also have to wait. I got the bad RNG here, but oh, it worked out. Okay. That red guy, oh, nearly got grabbed by those dudes. It's fine though. Also, you'll hear me spamming enter key because each level, every time we load in, there is a chance that the game just randomly skips a cutscene, and it's a free 2-second time save. That's why you'll just hear me spam enter every time, like a madman, when the level is loading. But yeah, the speedrun for Manhunt 80% out of bounds has some really, really insane tricks. Just like that one, you know, just clipping through walls, flying through things. It's really wicked, if you ask me. Hopefully I got the right amount of speed here. This trick isn't as consistent. I'm basically punching and then like looking towards the checkpoint. Oh, I got it. Nice. That one's really difficult sometimes. Like, it's hard to like punch and then quickly turn around towards the checkpoint because you lose speed sometimes. This is one of the few levels in the run that doesn't have one of those strats. We just play the normal, you know, out of bounds route without void shenanigans. We're just gonna bottle this guy in the back just to prevent him from bothering us as we're coming through. Flip quickly through here. Just avoid all of them. They really say a lot of mean stuff, so I don't like them. Just gonna get away from all these guys.
Oh yeah, I guess now is probably a good time to talk about what exactly is Manhunt. Basically, long story short, you're on death row. You've been given a second chance. You're competing in a death game. You're being recorded. There are various gangs of different types. They're going to kill you. You have to, you know, make it fun.
Yeah, these guys definitely make it pretty fun. So we're just trying to stay away from them for that same reason. I also have to fist all these guys as I'm coming through to stun lock them a little bit so I can just get through. I just skipped a whole lot of area. You'd have to get a crowbar here to open a gate in the back and make it through. But we don't do that. We just clip through an area and it pretty much skips all that, including a cutscene too. And we're done with the level. We just skip through a lot of these guys. Also, this level right here would be pretty difficult. This is one of the harder levels in the game. Now, Starkweather is the director. It's this guy talking to us. He basically captured Cash and put him in one of his famous manhunts, you know, which they capture people and they put him in these life or death scenarios. Starkweather here has captured Cash's family members. In this level, you'd have to save them from the many hunters that are roaming around the level, and they'd kill them if they spot you. But we don't do that in this run. We're just going to use the collision of a little trash can here, pop, and do the strat. If I aim towards a certain position, which is always the end of level checkpoint, I am just going to gain enough speed to fly through the level and just land at the end. Just like that. We saved our family, of course. Yeah, of course we did that.
Yeah.
We didn't just fly. Yeah, no, we saved everybody.
I see, originally this guy was on death row, but then he kind of clipped out of it.
Yeah, he did.
He went out of bounds.
He slipped out of jail.
Slipped out of jail? Yeah, he just sort of showed up. That'd be cool to record it, put it on games done quick.
He just fell out of the world and just blew his way back home. Like that. Now, this is one of the harder levels because it's one of the shooting levels. What we're doing here, straight on, is skipping an area. Now, enemies, sometimes when you clip through things, they don't react to you because they're scripted for you to go through a certain area before they attack you. I got shot there once, but I didn't take too much health. I should be fine here. I need to hit this guy in the head and then clip through here. I always switch to a melee before I'm clipping because if you clip with the gun, there's a chance you get stalked for some time. So you'll always see me switch to like a melee item or a brick or something different other than a gun. Now this level is really finicky. We are gathering some items for Starkweather to show us a movie of sorts. And I need to do the level in a really particular way to prevent it from breaking because it is very prone to crashing. Also, this guy is a meanie, so I'm just gonna shoot him before he says anything. I need to save, reload before I go any further, because the game will crash if I don't. I need to hit some really peak shots here. Can I hit this? Can I hit this? Nope. Okay, that's fine. Most of the time on shooting levels, you'll see me walk up to enemies, right click and then left click. It's the most safest way to just get 3 headshots every time. You know, if you can't hit. Like this, basically just right click, left click immediately. We just touch the TV and that's the level done. As you see, Starkweather, the director, has betrayed us. Despite us, of course, saving our family last level. He betrayed us and still just, you know, did horrible things. Oh, wow, that was extra long. Sometimes the static screens take a bit before they'll disappear. So for some reason, they're randomized. Now, this is another one of those extremely difficult levels because you'd be escorting an NPC, which is the tramp. And there's a hobo over here. I can show it. I think I got a little bit of time. Hang on. Yeah. All right. Let's just quick kill this guy. He'd show us this guy. This guy, we'd have to escort him through the level. Plenty, you know. As you see, as Starkweather is saying, he would only open gates if he's around with us. We'd have to hide him in shadows away from the hunters that are trying to actively kill us. But we're not going to do any of that, actually. We're just going to do the following. We are going to walk up to this wall, flip out of bounds, punch, and aim towards the left over there. Yeah, left him behind. We don't need him. Why should I need him? We're just going to fly.
Left him behind.
Just like that. And just like that, we basically flew all the way under the map into the checkpoint.
Make your way through the factory. The loading bay is your only way in.
Now, this one would plays pretty much the same as the normal out-of-bounds strat without void shenanigans. We just want to quickly get in here. This is the final, you know, room of the level. You have to walk into that corner to trigger a cutscene from happening. The enemies don't really appear. You need to blast this guy and press the button so we don't crash the level. We're basically setting up the level so we can trigger the, you know, the end of it. And now I need to clip through his. I messed it up, so I need to back up, strat it. And that's it. Now we are onto the asylum. This gang is called the Smileys. As you can see them, they're really sane-looking people.
Wearing smiley
Pink
faces.
robe.
They're happy.
Yeah, they're happy people. Now, this level is pretty much exactly the same strat as it would be in the normal route. We are just gonna clip through a few things and just make our way to the end of the level. There's only a certain amount of levels that have the void shenanigans strats, although they're really wicked. They're, you know, I make it look extremely easy. There's so many things you need to do before one of those tricks will finally trigger. And like, you need to look at a certain position and be pressing certain keybinds. I'm clipping through the tower here, skipping a big portion of level. Now, Starkweather asked us to kill the guy in the pink robe we just saw surely a few moments ago. I'm gonna clip through this cautiously. I'm gonna stuck myself here so I can be behind him. And then I'm gonna get close to him, and we need to do a red execution because the level asks us for either the body or his head. If we do a red execution, Cash decapitates him with the fiber wire, or yeah, I think it's fiber wire.
It might be piano wire.
Piano wire.
That's pretty popular in a lot of media around that time, I think.
Also, so we skip a little bit of cutscene if we just toss the head at this door as we enter. Starkweather would say that would say a line here, but if we toss the head at the door, it basically skips it, saving just a couple of seconds. Pretty straightforward. Now this level, there is I hope I can get it. I couldn't get it last time. I was I was here, but let's see if I can get it. We need to skip the dialogue. As you can see, every time we press escape, it skips over a bit of his dialogue. If I spam escape before we reach this gate, no luck. But if you press it at a certain time, it skips this entire dialogue immediately and gives you like a 10-second level, which is time save. It's really good. But it's quite difficult to pull off. Now we are in Wonderland. Funland. We use this lever here so that we prevent some enemies from bothering us. If we leave the gate open, they're just gonna come behind us and shut it closed again. We just shut it closed ourselves and then we clip through, so to prevent that. We are chasing this rabbit guy through the prison. You know, we are Alice and that's the rabbit. He's really quite speedy. We need to catch up to him. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Can I do this? Oh, very close. Oh my god. Surprised I survived that. What I was trying to do there is get a blind fire on that guy, take a shotgun. I'll kill him quick and then get the guy with the knife. Because we need the knife for a setup we're going to do here to finish the level. We're basically going to move that rabbit guy all the way over here. We're going to set a trap for him, basically. We need to load up a checkpoint in this part of the level. It should reappear him close to us. If I save and reload, as you can see, he's already over there. Now I need to do this, clip out of bounds, clip through walls, and make our way out of this section. Make our way over to him, execute him, take the key outside of this level. Also, I need to do this clip very cautiously. There you go. Perfect. I need to not be too close to the wall because otherwise there's a chance that you'll just clip through it and just get stuck there irreparably. So I just try not to be too close to it and it should clip me right through. We finally killed the rabbit man and we got the key. So we're now finally able to escape Wonderland. Now we need to trigger this cutscene to make the level work. As always, we need to do something to make the level, you know, be able so we can finish it. Also, I'm weaving through these guys. Sometimes they may turn back. It's kind of annoying when they do that because they can't. There's a chance they can kill you. I shoot there so that we can trigger the checkpoint because sometimes it doesn't trigger if you just walk through it. Now we are approaching arguably one of the hardest levels of the entire speedrun. This is Divided They Fall. We are fighting the War Dogs, which is this psychotic militia group led by Ramirez, guy we need to kill in this level. Usually this level you'd have to play with a lot of stealth and have to play really, really cautious, executing these guys and using shotguns now and then. But in the speedrun, it actually turns into a really difficult shotgun run. I need to walk all the way over here and execute a guy that's gonna come out of this door. He came out of the right side correctly, so we can execute him. Sometimes he may come from the left. There is a strat we can do. If you hug the wall a little bit before he walks, we should be able to kill him, even though he's looking our way. I shot that guy that we just saw, the first one, because he can make things really difficult for us later on. Like, he can pile with the enemies, and shotguns in this game are really, really nasty. I might need to heal. I can hit around the wall. You don't need to hit them directly. You can shoot a corner of their body and it'll still deal enough damage to kill them. Now, this is Ramirez. This is the guy we need to kill. There's a way we can early kill him. However, I need to run really quick behind him. We're gonna have to basically run through enemies. There's a heal here. Good. We didn't take too much damage there. That's really, really good. Shotgun this guy. Oh, perfect. I think we're done. Yeah, that's about it. We just walk, hug this wall, past these guys, and they shouldn't bother us. Now, this guy's gonna stop here, and that symbolizes that he's killable. Now, we're just gonna clip out of bounds and fly into the little blue dot you see on the minimap. It's this checkpoint, the end of level checkpoint. We just fly into it. As you can see, that's what a void shenanigan is. I guess you just fly into things, and that's it. We did really good. That level usually takes me at least 2 or 3 tries, won't lie. Really good. And this one also has void shenanigans. We have to escort a reporter here, you know, the journalist, but we don't have to do that. We can just fly and aim for that little thing that says subway there. And if we got enough speed, the geometry on this level is like the exit for the level is at a low point, so it just places it at the low point. It like flies us under the map into the lowest point, and it just triggers the end of the level, and that's how we just beat the level in 24 seconds. These strats are really wicked. I love them. They're so hard to do, but it's so gratifying when you like get them all in a row in a single like segment run. So for this one is also another shooting level. We need to clip through this train and then walk to this corner and move a little back. Need to shoot before we reach the slide to skip a cutscene from happening. Some guys come from this side on the left. I shot a shotgun pellet there so that these guys basically go investigate and they should not trigger the cutscene. That's what we do here. There's still plenty of shooting to go through though, so this is gonna get really, really scary. Now I'm about to approach another save point. I don't need to save here, however. I'm just gonna heal up a bit. I just touch it just in case I die. There's a chance always. Need to grab this guy's pistol. Shoot this guy in the head. Blind fire that guy. There's another guy over here. If we rush here as quick as possible, this shootout is so much easier. As long as I keep aiming for this side right here, you can constantly keep hitting headshots. It's really consistent. Just you sit there and you keep aiming for that corner. Oh, he called me a hobo. That's not nice. All right. We beat Train to Kill. Now, I believe we only have roughly 3 to 4 levels remaining on the run. I usually shoot the scope just for safesies. Sometimes he can go crazy and hit many shots consecutive. I just oop into this, and this should be pretty cool, pretty chill moment. We can just walk through the train yard and just skip the entire level. Rockstar, for some reason, like made the map really big here. The playable area is over here on the left, but they made this area quite big. We're just gonna walk away to the end of the level here, and we should be able to skip all fights. However, I should be very cautious not to fire anywhere near the end of level area, because I think I saw recently, I was trying some new strats, and cops here can actually shoot through walls, so I need to be very cautious and not make any noise. Just walk all the way here and then clip in. And that's it for the level. Most levels go like this. It's really crazy. We skip a lot of gameplay. That's why I don't know. Some people like to call it the cheat run, although it really has plenty of difficulty to pull off some of the strats we do. Now we are, I believe this is the 3rd final level in the game. We're still got 3 more levels. This one and another 2. I need to walk all the way up to this guy, execute him, and get his pistol. As you can see, I clipped through areas and the enemies didn't attack me because they're not programmed to unless I open that gate I was just in. I need to shoot this guy. Oh wow, really bad. Hopefully this guy on the right doesn't see me. I should be fine. Okay, yeah. Took a bit more damage, but we don't need the health really. We're just gonna slightly clip through these hedges. Fall down here, punch after we land to gain a little speed. Then we're gonna clip through this wall here, punch a bit to the right, and it should teleport us all the way to the end of the level, since the geometry here as well is like in a low point. So it'll just land us straight at the end. Now this is the key personnel. I need to really focus here. If I miss a shot... Oh wow, that guy just came out. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's my first ad, man. Come on. That's fine though. That guy sometimes may come out and start lasering. You gotta watch out for M16 servers. That guy's coming out so late. What is he doing? Crazy. He usually picks his head by the time I shoot the first 2. This time he isn't doing so though.
Probably ends up being one of the hardest levels in the game because originally you'd probably have more weapons in the previous level, but using the strap in the last level, you only end up having the pistol.
Yeah, I usually just do it with the pistol. It's really unsafe with the pistol. If you miss a shot, you die pretty certainly. You usually want to have the M16 for that level. But I mean, you can do it. It's just that that guy for some reason was misbehaving. It's just little things like that that like ruin record runs. Just NPCs misbehaving. Also, this is Deliverance, the final level of the run. We'd have to fight Pixie and stab him a few times, but he gets angry and eventually breaks open his room's door. But we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna clip through a few areas here. Need to clip very cautiously through this door, and clip out of into this room, which is Starkweather's final area where we are gonna fight him. I find a more consistent way of killing this guy is just standing in front of him and just quickly clicking for brick throws. Otherwise, the brick goes too far and you have to go pick it up. We just take his rifle away from him. Now, this is pretty consistent. We are just gonna walk over to Pixie and just right click and left click him in the face, and he's dead. We take his chainsaw. Also, the level allows us to cut down the door as he would if, you know, we would have stabbed him like we were supposed to. And this level actually breaks in so many ways. Starkweather cannot be killed in any other way other than with the chainsaw, otherwise the level fully breaks. Oh wow, well, bonus execution. I misclicked. There you go. Bonus scenes. And that's time.
GG.
That is time. GG. Also quick. Let's watch the final cutscene. It plays the sound as if the servers were leaving the room, but you know they all.
Acclaimed movie maker Lionel Starkweather has been found
They're just
dead
chilling there.
today, along with several of his bodyguards.
Yeah, he's just
at his
chilling there.
estate at the Wapona Hills
I like how this
residential
woman just
district.
watched a man
In
phase
what
through like the
investigators are
entirety
calling
of
a bloody
Carcer City.
vendetta, an unknown assailant
She's got all the
Yeah,
footage of it.
killing Starkweather.
She just got all the footage, the
you know,
immediate footage of Cash just flying through the entire city. She witnessed it with her own eyes, the void shenanigans.
Carcer City's own police chief Gary Schaefer.
But yeah, while we're playing out the outro here, really quick, if anyone wanted to find you, where can they find you?
All right, you can find me on Twitch. I stream Monday to Friday, you know, horror games. I also speedrun some games, but I play copious amounts of Look Outside. So if you guys are into Look Outside or challenge runs, you feel free to watch me. I do a lot of that. And, you know, I do a weekly run of Look Outside, killing all the bosses in the game.
Yeah. I do want to say thank you again for doing the run of Manhunt. Once again, if you did enjoy Jay here's run, you can find the link in chat, both in the pinned comment and the little shout out there, Jay here, twitch.tv, Jay here specifically. If you like Manhunt or Look Outside, definitely a good place to be. A lot of fun horror stuff. Definitely some good stuff there if you want to check it out.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do want to say thank you to everyone for watching. Hopefully you all had a good time with this episode of Speedruns from the Crypt. It is nice to be back. You know, GDQ just wrapped up, but speedrunning is not over. There's always the Hotfix, you know, year-round. We're going every 2 weeks or so. You know, all the shows. Always fun time if you've not seen it. I've been your host, Dicus. I'll be back in about 2 weeks with the Crypt. You know, we have fun over here. We'll find more fun games. As well, you can stay tuned as we continue our SGDQ 2026 replay right after this, and you can tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern for a co-op speedrun special. I've been your host, Dicus. Have a wonderful rest of the day or night, and take it easy.